Hello, welcome to Staring at the Ceiling, and I just farted, and I have a brown stain in my underwear.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
What a great start. All right,
I
we
have
are.
racing stripes.
This is part two of the top 10.
Oh,
We did
stinks.
what 10 through 6
I
last
farted.
week. So we're gonna do
I
5
wish
through
there
1.
was smell-o-vision for this.
You're never doing the intro. Do I have to do the intro every week because of this? Because I
No,
can't
you
trust
No,
won't.
any of
no,
you
no,
fuckers
no,
to
no.
do
Listen,
We're
listen.
not.
this.
We're not
I'm
gonna let
just,
you do it every
I'm
week.
giving, I'm giving the audience an atmosphere. You know, like in movie scripts where they like put like like interior and then they like write the actions and like setting and shit to like get you
Yeah.
absorbed in. That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing right now. I'm
Okay,
letting you know
so
the
we're
fucking
the
sentences
audience
coming
doesn't
from
want
my
to.
hole right now.
The The audience doing the doesn't top want to five hear your games right Seinfeld now. jokes.
We're doing the top 5 games right now.
Yeah, so we last week. Do you guys remember your 10 through 6? Because I mean, I have it right in front of me.
I've
Yes.
Yeah, the
got it right
audience
here.
wants to hear about these nuts.
I'm a
Um,
responsible individual, and I saved my
So
list on my desk.
let's
I
do.
had a notepad and my dumbass shut down my computer without saving it, so I had to rewrite my top five.
All right, so Brian doesn't have their top 10, but I think the rest of us do. So let's just do a little recap for the ones of us that do. 10 was Fusions for me, 9 was Cuphead, 8 was Smash Ultimate, 7 was Fire Emblem Awakening, and 6 was Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. Mitchell, what was yours?
10 was Minecraft. 9 was Soul Silver. 8 was Yakuza 7. 7 was Saints Row 2, and 6 was Morrowind.
All right, Jay, do
And
you
I
have
was
yours?
interrupted
Relax.
by Jay,
Relax.
and I remember that shit.
Relax.
No,
It's in the headspace.
I
there's
know
some
number
tension.
10. Number 10
These
was
nuts.
these nuts in your mouth.
These
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah, these nuts in your mouth.
It's such
Number
a great
10
podcast.
was
Love
Super
this.
Wild Wars. Number 9. What was
Was
number
these
9?
nuts.
Jay, do you not have it in front of you?
I didn't write it down.
Oh
Irresponsible.
my God.
Irresponsible.
Okay, I know I said Dragon Quest. I said
Why are
Final
you
Fantasy
talking some
7.
shit?
I said GTA San Andreas. And I forgot
Keep in
I
mind,
forgot
like,
one of
just
them.
just for reference, the podcast, that episode of 10 through 6 isn't even up yet, so we are going
Man,
off
y'all can
memory.
go watch the old episode. Goddamn, you
Yeah,
want to
you
do
can.
this?
Yeah, you know what? You know what?
Yeah,
I
just
should probably edit
go
that
watch the
right
last
now.
We're
episode,
treating
honestly.
the audience like they're stupid. They can
Exactly.
remember. All
They
right.
can go
Look,
out.
look,
This
look, sometimes you gotta forget,
when you have a
right?
part 1 and part 2 video, you don't have to recap
Like
the
when
whole damn
you
part like part
when you
1.
remember one episode of Slip and Jimmy, you remember the next, right,
I
Mitchell?
Shut the
just,
fuck up.
like, I find it great that Jay just makes the shit up as he goes along. He's just like, oh,
I
fuck,
don't
what
make it
was
up.
number 9?
Well, apparently
I
you
just
didn't write
forgot.
it down. Why the fuck did you write
There's
it
a bunch of
down?
games because I don't feel like writing it down.
You should have wrote it
It
down. What the
literally
Those are
fuck?
takes
my top
5
5.
seconds. Oh my God.
Irresponsible. You don't know.
All
You
right.
don't know your
It
60
changes on the whim.
All
And
right.
like I
It
said,
might change on the
how
wind, but
hard
this
is it? Listen, listen,
this is
audience
written in
member.
concrete. This is
Listen,
written in
audience member.
concrete.
If
Okay.
you want to know everybody's details on it, are we gonna say the details again and recap that? No, we're not. We're gonna freaking tell them to go watch the first
Yeah,
part. Like
just
they
go
should.
watch
So
go
we
watch
did
part
the
1
first
if you
part.
really want to know
Yeah, you
what
should go
happened.
watch those
Anyways,
first part. Where the
let's
fuck do you get off? Actually, hey, you audience member, where the fuck do you get off watching part 2? Okay, you should watch part 1. What the fuck are you
Yeah,
doing?
Exactly.
Your due diligence.
asshole. This is
Shit.
like director's intent. Do you watch a Stanley Kubrick movie at the end and fucking watch the beginning? No, dumbass. Watch it. It's our intent.
Oh my God.
If
All
this
right.
video
Word
has
is
Let's
fucking
fucking
visuals, I've
law,
been giving you the
alright?
Cooper stare right now.
let's
Okay.
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
get to
We're
the
gonna fucking
top
end your
5.
life.
Let's actually get to the top 5. Let's start with Brian, and we'll go Brian, Jay, Mitchell, and then me.
Top five?
Yep, top
Okay.
5. All right, so Brian, top
Uh
5. Let's remember 5.
this has a two-parter. This is like a double whammy, you know, like the hit TV show Double Whammy from 1940.
I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
I just made it up, so you shouldn't know.
Okay.
Near Gestalt, for the PS3 360 slash its remake.
Wait,
The
I'm sorry,
remake of the
what?
Japanese version called Near Replicant, which is on PS4,
Oh.
PS5, and PC. And the remake kind of like it fucking trumps the original in every way. So there's kind of no point in mentioning the original, but I played that one first, so I'm going to mention it. Because I am a Chad. I can smoke my stogies whenever I want, and I can do it. Okay.
So wait, it's called
Um,
Near Gestalt is what it's
yeah,
originally
that's the
called?
original.
Why'd they
The
change the
American.
name?
So there's two versions. So when it came out originally, so the original Japanese version is called Near Replicant, and it has a younger protagonist, and he's like the brother. All right, he's called Brother Near. And it's about like fucking Yona, who's the other protagonist, is his sister. And when Square Enix brought it to America, they were just like, well, Americans aren't gonna like that shit. So it's a 360 exclusive in Japan, but it's the only version we got, and it's called Near Gestalt, where they made Near a father, and he's like a 40-year-old man instead of a brother. He's like, so it's like a different pro tag, but it's the same exact character, just different coat of paint.
And it's the same
Um,
game?
Yeah, it's the same game. It's the same exact game.
That's
Same exact
so
dialogue.
weird.
But yeah, it's called Near Gestalt over here, and the remake is Near Replicant. So it's a remake of the Japanese version, and it's the first time in America we got Replicant like English translated and shit. And it has more. And it has better combat.
Doesn't it like just
The
take
combat's
Automata's
actually
combat?
good. No,
Hmm.
it has a basis in Automata's combat, but original Nier's combat is very different in how it uses like magic systems and shit. And basically what they did was they took Automata as a basis and added Nier's like mechanics to it and shit, and improved Nier's mechanics like a ton. Um, the original game I love to death, but it is you play it for 5 seconds. It's a very slow fucking game, and its gameplay is not what you rave about. But Near Replicant's gameplay is pretty good. Hold up.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty sure
Okay. There we
is,
go.
is,
Hold
is,
on, I
Repli-
wanted
is
to-
Replicant the one that has like the shit ton of numbers in the title?
Yeah, it's like version 1.44 or
That's
Oh,
so
Jesus Christ, I
weird.
just fucking farted. Oh my god.
thank you.
God
But
damn.
yeah, like basically same exact story. Basically, it's like any Yoko Taro game. You just play it for the story. I can't really talk much about it because I don't want to spoil it. But basically peak RPG writing, best RPG party of all time. And yeah,
All right,
play it.
cool.
Basically, yeah, just
Play
play
the
it.
damn game.
Play video game now.
It's raining in.
All right, Jay, what do you got for your 5?
See, I
These
know my
nuts.
top 5 by heart. Yeah, I got these nuts in your mouth.
No, bitch.
Nights in the Dreams. Just
Knights in
like
the Creams? What the fuck?
yeah.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's wild.
It is wild, Mitchell. It is wild.
I farted again.
Yeah, I bet you did. Yeah, I bet it stank. Nights in the Dreams is awesome because you can fly around like these worlds, and it has children. I mean, not the children part.
What the
but-
fuck? That's a
Oh,
little
wait!
What is this supposed to be like a plus or some shit, bro? That's
Can we-
fucking
hold
weird.
on,
What
can
the
we
fuck?
pause
children
for
are
a
cool.
second.
Children, listen, the kids.
Stop.
Hey,
I'm just saying,
Yo,
the
stop.
ones in Journey to Dreams.
I'm sorry, guys. We have to kick him out. We don't
Yeah,
allow
my
Max
no,
to
we're
go
gonna
ahead.
get
Fuck it,
canceled if we
bro.
don't kick Jay
The
out.
ones in the sequel, like they kind of suck. They're like crybaby.
All right, guys.
These
From
ones-
from this episode onward, it's a
Whoa,
three-man.
Oh, you're
It's a
picking
three-man
between
go.
them two, dude. That's
Oh
fucked.
my
Oh
God.
my
That's
god.
crazy. Hey,
What the
yo.
fuck, Jay?
You have types? Oh my god.
Let
was
these
the
idiots-
worst
let these
fra-
idiots
the worst
expose
phrasing
themselves.
ever of that fucking.
Let these idiots expose themselves. The point is,
Oh, no,
it's
you're
about
exposing
dream.
yourself live right now.
It's about dream in the dreams.
Oh, on the
Are
Chris
important.
Hansen podcast, you freak.
The dreams are
Have a seat.
important
Take a seat. Take a seat.
to the characters. Like it represents something that they like have. Like one dream is like about their parents and stuff, and another dream about their.
Why are you
girls and
dreaming
stuff.
about their parents, bro?
I'm not dreaming. It's Dylan dreaming about their parents.
That's crazy, bro.
It is crazy. It's a crazy ass game, and it give you a seizure if you're not if you got problems like that. But it's
I've
It's
always
really
wanted to see
good.
her.
it's had the arcade that classic
Uh-huh.
Sega arcade gameplay. Nice is a cool character. You just can't get, it's just experience you can only get, in Nights in the Dream. The levels are awesome. Like the lore is awesome. Like it's a lot of stuff to it that it's more than meets the eye. Not just in like like the world and whatever, but the gameplay. And I still play it to this day and try to get A ranks and try to get a higher score, and try to understand it. But it's a game you really won't understand at first, not because it's like some like I don't know some intellectual masterpiece or something like that, but it's because it's kind of hard to understand because it's kind of weird and unorthodox. But like once you kind of understand everything, it's really fun. But yeah, Nights in the Dreams. Also, it's like the best Christmas game ever made, and I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to accept any arguments on that because it is a special place in my heart there. So it's number 5.
Yeah, I can't really say much on that. I've had Nights into Dreams in my Steam library for like years because I think I got it in like a Humble Bundle for like super cheap. And other than seeing a little bit of gameplay, I almost have no idea what the hell that series is about. Looks weird.
I have it on PS3 when it got the HD port, and I played it a bit, and like, it's a video game I liked. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all you got. It's like I kind of liked it. That's about it.
Yeah. I'll listen to Christmas Nights at Christmas time, like the Dreams Christmas version. I'll listen to that. Yeah,
Nice.
but
All
that
right, Mitchell, what you got for us?
Wasn't it you next?
No, it's you next.
Okay, well, guess.
I'm not fucking doing this. I'm not. I refuse. I actually
You
refuse.
have to do it. No,
I
you
would-
said you
I would-
said you
I
were gonna
would-
get half my
I
list.
would-
You
I
didn't get
would-
half my list last time, Noah.
I
so we
would
get to keep doing
rather.
this.
I would rather
Just-
skip
This
you.
is the easy ones.
No,
This is the easy
no,
ones. Though.
I would rather
This is
skip
the
you
easy ones.
than continue. I'd rather
This is
skip
the
you than
easy
continue
ones.
this. No, I refuse.
This is the easy ones. These
Oh my
are
God.
the easy ones.
Okay, this is the last one I'm
Just
guessing.
guess.
This is
Just
this
guess.
is the
It's gonna
last.
get easier as it goes
This
on,
is
Noah.
the
It's gonna get
last
so easy.
one.
It's gonna be so easy. The further it goes in, you should be getting these are like the fucking easy shots.
Okay. Did you already say a Grand Theft Auto game? You already said one.
No, why? No,
No, he never said any.
we
you haven't-
no,
went through this
he
before.
said Saints Row 2.
That's right.
Yeah.
You did.
Mhm.
San Andreas then. Sure.
No, oh my god.
No, that's he
I
just
haven't even beat
said.
it. I
That was
haven't
this
even beat it.
GTA style
Redemption.
game. Oh,
Red Dead
Lord.
Redemption. It's Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, you did
Red Dead
talk about Red Dead
Redemption.
Redemption last time. Look, it's been
Red
like
Dead Redemption
it's been
2
like a
was
week and
pretty
a
solid,
half.
you know.
Okay.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is pretty solid, but it's got some pretty blaring issues, in hindsight. That, I think that Red Dead Redemption is just a way tighter experience. Story, I think, is a lot, stronger in general. It's shorter, but it's like it's stronger, I feel like, and the combat's pretty fucking fun. I like how it's like a spaghetti western knockoff,
Like
essentially.
spaghetti.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I like it a lot. It's my favorite Rockstar game.
Solid like some poop. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Mitchell. You know what else
That's
is a
my name.
Western? The
Shut the
first
fuck up.
episode.
Shut the fuck up.
Flippin' Jimmy.
Shut the fuck up. I didn't even need to hear the fucking
It's
rest of
full
the
of
words that come out of
dollars.
your fucking mouth. Shut the fuck up. Moving on. Noah.
Except it's fistful
Yeah,
of snowballs.
really
It
thought
is.
it was great.
It's like
Noah,
Jimmy.
Noah.
I haven't played Red Dead Redemption. I've only played 2, but I mean, I can feel that some people would like Red Dead Redemption 1 more, just from what I've seen. But I don't know, 2 looks better to me, but I'd have to play 1 to actually be able to tell
Well,
that.
2 is more of a western, it's more like a western. Oh fuck! Why am I blanking on the word? It's like a western role playing game, except not role play, but it's like a simulator. That's the word I'm looking
Right,
for. It's like a
right.
western sim. Red Dead Redemption is way more like a spaghetti western shooter. You feel more like you're going by in different shooting galleries and all that type of shit. And it's kind of fun.
I
So-
guess it just depends what you're looking for at that point.
Yeah,
you
but
could
also
definitely-
I think the story is a lot more solid than Red Dead 2's.
I think you could definitely immerse yourself in 2 more. It kind of gives you just that,
Well, yeah, it's way
Realism
more
and
what it's going
everything.
for.
but
But
I could see it.
But one is I don't know. I just think it's a more tighter experience.
Right.
It's way better
All right.
for it.
Cool. Yeah, could respect that. All right.
I know it's right.
I'm gonna end off the 5 train with an actual 5 game. I got Persona 5 on here.
We gotta watch Slippin' Jimmy.
I specifically have Persona 5
I'm not
R
gonna acknowledge
because that's the version that I played. I actually own Persona 5 on PS4 and I never touched
Yeah.
it. And then Royal came out and I was like, I'm gonna play Royal. But But Persona 5 R.
They're like about the same game anyway.
Okay,
So
from what I know, Persona 5 R just improves on the combat, and like stuff like what you don't run out of bullets anymore. It's like a per battle basis or something. So it's like just all
basically,
the little improvements to all the systems and everything. Honestly,
there's a bunch of UI shit. Like
yeah, that
more
too.
portraits
I
and
could
shit.
like I've played Persona 5. I've like tested it in a couple areas and played it a little bit, but I don't think I'll ever fully play through the original just because R exists. So why not play R?
R, the issue with R is like, from what I remember, I need to beat R, but from what I remember, a lot of the shit is backloaded to the end. Okay.
Well, it really builds up the third semester, but not like all the third semester stuff that is in the original game is just kind of in the background. It doesn't really
Yeah.
like the new character Kasumi, you don't get to play as until the third semester, which the third semester is like nowhere near as long as the rest of the game. So it's like
Yeah.
you build up this character that you can't even play until the end. So that kind of sucks. That's probably one of the lesser parts of it. But I mean, the story's still really good. It's the original Persona 5 with some add-ons. I love the characters in it. The music is fucking amazing. The game looks amazing. God, Atlas, give me a fucking PC port so we can start modding this shit.
Can they
I love
give
this
you
game.
can they give you a Chicago sunroof?
Oh my god. But no,
You know
I
what
mean,
that is?
no, and I don't want to know.
It's when you like open the sunroof on someone's car and then you take a shit in it.
Why would you know that?
There's Better Call Saul. Jimmy McGill initially gets arrested. Who is Saul, by the way?
Does that happen in
For
the
doing a
cartoon?
no, it's in the actual show. He actually gets
But
arrested
should
for
happen
doing
in the cartoon?
he gets arrested for doing a Chicago sunroof, and a kid is in the car and he didn't know, so he got arrested.
That's amazing. But yeah, no.
I
Persona-
totally
that's
didn't just
the
come
backstory.
for taking a mean ass shit.
I know, right?
I just explained what Chicago sunroof is, but continue. No, Persona 5.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. Persona 5R, good game. I really have no complaints. Persona 4 could go on
Yeah.
here too, but I mean, I think 5 just has the better combat and the cooler areas. I don't know. I
My
played
thing
this.
was, my opinion on 5 has been like wishy-washy, where like I really like the game, but I do agree there is a lot of like it starts off really strong, like it starts off incredibly strong, but as the game goes on, it gets like the writing wise, it gets kind of poopy. Like I would say because I have more experience with you, once it hits Futaba's palace, that's when it starts to die because like the setup for Futaba's palace is really good, but I don't know if they changed it in Royal, but the ending is kind of poopy a little bit.
I can definitely see how like the mid game isn't as good, but I think the late game and the early game are really good. The mid
Well,
is
granted,
okay.
the late game in Royal is different, but in the
Yeah.
original game,
But even like the end of, even the end of the story there, I think is still good. I don't have as many problems with the game's writing as other people do because I'll see like on Twitter all the time and stuff. People be like, "Man, this Persona moment fucking sucks," and they'll put a moment from 5, and it's like, I can see why that ticks people off. I never really had a problem with it. I don't know.
there is a lot of shit in the original. I don't know if they changed this.
Wow, you haven't
There
played
is a
Royal?
scene-
Fake fan.
I have it. I'm just lazy.
Uh huh. Yeah, sure.
But just like how I
I have
haven't
both,
played
and I haven't
Goldie,
beaten
but
both.
I played OG Persona 4. All right, and
I did too, man. OG PS2 Persona 4. Yo,
That's what I played. I played on
Let's
PCSX2
go.
when I was 13.
Yeah,
But
I haven't. I have Golden, and I've played a little bit of it, but I haven't really gotten that far.
yeah, it's hard to get motivated playing the other versions when you've already played it.
It's just I'm trying to play it on Steam Deck, so I'm like motivating myself to do it.
Yeah,
I'm motivated.
but like, fuck, when is it? It's been so long since I played Persona 5. But it's like the shit where like Ryuji fucking saves the day, but then they just shit on him anyway. Like there's
That's
shit
the
like
moment
that.
everybody shits on. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like moment. Like,
Yeah.
I think like the latter part of the game, it feels like they kind of rushed it a little. Like they didn't know what the fuck to do. But like the beginning of the game is really fun.
That's
I
a
still love
super
that
strong
fucking game
beginning.
to death, though.
You wait, what?
I still love that game to death though, even though I
Yeah.
think it has like flaws and shit.
I think because my number 6 was Ocarina, and I talked about before how Ocarina or Majora could go there, and I think Ocarina barely beats it. It's the same here. I mean, Persona 4 or 5 could go in this slot. I think they both have great characters and stories and everything. It's just I think Five's gameplay is just slightly better with like the
I
gun
like
and everything like that.
I like them bringing back Demon Negotiations.
Oh, I remember my number 9. I remember it.
Oh,
It was
have you been
Grandia.
You took
sitting
too
here
long.
the
Nobody
whole
cares.
time?
And no one
It was
cares.
Grandia. There you go.
We're like
Alright.
we're 20 minutes into this, and Jay's like, I remember my number 9 now.
Yeah, I thought about
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
about
The
it.
cogs are turning.
Oh yeah, I like the gameplay changes in 5, like bringing back Demon Negotiations from SMT and like Persona 2 and shit like that.
But Brian, you're gonna love. We're gonna go a couple spots ahead. I'm not gonna say what it is, but you're gonna love something that beats Persona. I know it's gonna be a great discussion, but we'll get to that later. What's your number 4
I
though?
know what you're gonna say. I know exactly what
Ah,
you're
can't
I'm
wait.
reading like a book right now.
All right, number 4, Brian, go.
I await it. All right. Samurai Showdown 2019.
That's only your number 4. That's crazy.
Well,
I
I have a very
expected
specific top 3. I have a very specific.
I expected top 3. I'm not gonna lie.
It could have been, but yeah. This game kind of made me. So it kind of deserves to be in the top 5. I like it a lot. It's my favorite fighting game. I wish it had functional online. That's another. But it's my favorite fighting game of all time. It. I don't like the meme of like, haha, it's simple, do big damage. What it really is. It's not a slow game at all. It is a game for maniacs where all you do is just run at each other and like, jump at each other. It's really funny. It's more like if Street Fighter had a run essentially, and everyone was really aggressive. That's what Sam Show is, and I like that a lot. I could go in fighting game shit of like I think a lot of the frame data is interesting. Fucking, I know that game's
Such a
frame data by
fucking
heart.
nerd.
I actually know it. A lot of shit, like certain things, like almost every medium is like 8 frames and shit.
Mhm.
That's real. I think a lot of the MUs for I usually don't like the thing of every character is viable. Because yeah, but some characters are hard as fuck. And I know it very well with this game because I fucking played a bottom 3 character. But he wasn't like bottom 5. But fucking basically every character is viable in that game, and it's really cool. And there's a lot of room for expression. Like everyone will play a character differently and shit. There's a lot of shit that's really cool. It's basically like the central thing of what I like in fighting games put into one game. It's not perfect because no game is, but I think it's like the best representation of what I like in terms of fighting game design. And also, this game has a very special place because it quite literally fucking made my online presence. And yeah, I met a lot of people through it, including my boyfriend. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's Samurai.
I mean, like, I think this is one of those fighting games because, like, when it comes to fighting games, you and I don't typically have that much differing opinions, except like with our favorites. I mean, I'll sit here all
Yeah.
day and night saying like I think Poken's one of the best fighting games, and you'll fight me on that hardcore. But Sam Show I think is another one because I hate Sam Show. I'm gonna be real with you. I
You were a baby back
I
bitch. That's why.
I
absolutely
did.
don't like Sam Show.
And
It just-
also, you only played it with me, and I go hard in that game.
No, like
So,
I have played Sam Show on my own time. I didn't play online, but I did training in like some arcade. Like I've played Sam Show on my own time for at least a little bit, but it's just like the game doesn't feel like how I like
Ooh, yeah.
a fighting game to feel. I play it and I'm like the hits don't feel great. You know, I love me some Street
I
Fighters,
think
some
it's
Tekken,
satisfying.
some Dragon Ball Fighters. Like I have a type, and when I play Sam Show, I'm like the movement just doesn't feel right to me. And I can respect the people that like it. I can see why people like it, but I play it and I'm like, I just don't. It doesn't feel good when I play it, you know.
It's a very old school kind of game. I want to be upfront about that. Like, if you like older games, like the Boomer games, you'll most likely like it. It's kind of that. I more so have, for better or worse, given online functionality from this company, especially with KOF 15.2. because I haven't been able to get a random match in a month. Fun fact. I tend to gravitate towards the SNK way of designing things more, with like Sam Show especially, because that's my fucking pinnacle. And KOF in terms of like more, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say flex because that kind of gives a weird thing, but in terms of like other kind of shit, but I think that's where we differ. I'm just more of an SNK Street Fighter kind of person, and you
Yeah.
like anime games, so
Look, I've
And I
been
like
hella
3D fighters.
like I try to dip into everything and stuff like Tekken I do
you
like,
didn't
but
like KOF either.
okay, I don't like KOF's different. I don't hate KOF. I think it feels fine. It's just I don't know. Maybe I just look for a easier like combo system, I guess. Because to me, I like when there's an easy way to get just your basic stuff out, but then it's when you take the time to figure out the combos. But then I play like Sam Show and KOF. Like, I mean, I like stuff like Street Fighter where it's like it's much more simpler. But even then, when I do combos in Street Fighter and I figure that out, that feels satisfying. I do KOF and I'm like, I don't really feel anything with
It's
those
like
games.
with Sam showing me combos. It's interesting because I get this when I teach other people that don't know how to play it. No other fighting game has running normals. Literally none of them do.
Yeah,
Even like the closest you get is like the running normals and shit like Virtua Fighter or Tekken. And that's about it. But they don't combo in any do hard knockdowns or juggle.
yeah,
In Sam Show, you have to use a lot of running normals to like connect into shit, and that's really weird for one.
yeah.
And then like KOF, it's like there's a lot of KOF isms, like button holds and like in terms of combo structure, like fucking like linking lights into each other in specials and super and shit. Like there's a very specific way you have to do KOF combos, and it's very SNK-ism kind of thing. It's kind of why I like SNK because they kind of stick to their guns on shit. Like they're just like, no, our game will be made like this, and that.
Yeah. I mean, also, I've just been really getting into anime games lately. I play stuff like Fighters, Grand Blue, Melty Blood. I think that's just kind of my thing right now.
Yeah.
I think it's good that we all have a difference in what we like. It's a good thing and a bad thing because it's hard to get somebody else on the other game. But like for me, I like 3D fighters because of like a lot of 3D fighters are more interactable. Oh, and platform fighters because they're more interactable with different things compared to the 2D fighters. Like and some people hate this type of stuff, but I love it. Like the ring out system and stage changes and like using walls and stuff, like actually using walls, not just a
Yeah, it's a lot more
screen.
environment heavy.
It's and like that stuff is cool because it makes it feel like I don't know, it makes it feel realistic. You play Def Jam or something or like Tekken or Virtual Fighter, it makes it feel realistic and it gives you this risk and reward to like do stuff like that. Like you just don't get that in like a 2D fighter and where you're just focused on the fighting and the comboing and like I wanted like I don't know, some people call it like a casual perspective, but I think like that's just like something that people want.
So
Or DOA.
wouldn't you like a game like any of the Injustices where they switch environments and they're all about environment interaction?
I would if the gameplay was good.
Yeah, I mean like that
True.
like if you wanted
That's true.
if you wanted to play a 2D fighter that involves the environment, it'd probably be like the
And you know what?
newer Mortal Kombats and
You know what else
Injustice.
does?
I would if the
Real
gameplay was good.
Real
And
Bout
guess
Fatal
what?
Fury does that.
And guess what? I mean like no, I mean like actual shit. Like we're
No.
talking.
I meant was like, I meant was the ring outs and shit. But
Yeah.
Real
Yeah,
Bout
like we have to
Ring outs.
deal with something got to do with elevation and so like it's kind of crazy because I know like you go look on YouTube and people get on say like on Virtual Fighter 3 because Virtual Fighter 3 has elevation and we're in Tekken 4. Tekken 4 has other issues. It's my favorite game in the franchise, but it has some other issues competitive wise. But you see the fans and they be like they love it. They love that stuff. Like there's a bunch of Virtual Fighter 3 fans like out there despite that. And I just think it's really because people like that, like especially Dead or Alive is another one that's like that. They like that sort of free. Also, they feel more free to do stuff compared to 2D fighters because of that. Like they like that whole system of it because I don't know. It just feels like you're more involved in the fight, and like I don't know. To me, it's like I'm just not like a combo person. Like I mean, it's hard for me to do combos in the first place, but I'm just not a person who really likes like I'm not gonna get that hyped if I see like a bunch of combos. There are certain games, 2D games that like grab me, like MVC and stuff, because of characters and just crazy stuff. But like me just seeing like an easy to do combo is not like turning me on, man. Like that shit just like it's like
God, that shit doesn't
uh
get me going.
exactly. Yeah. I'm not motivated. I want give me my destructible stages, give me my like breakable ollie, give me things like that in the game while I'm fighting. So I can like be like, oh shit, I'm by this thing. I need to get out the way. Or hey, you know what I can do? Cool thing in Virtual Fighter, even Sonic the Fighters like that, I can go and I can just reversal them or grab them and put them on the edge. And now they're at disadvantage. Even if it's a wall stage, because there are wall grabs, you can do that to people. And that to me is pretty cool. How you have to like watch out for that stuff. And the same platform fighters, because you got to watch out for like the bottom of the stage and stuff like that, like falling off. You got to actually, do more than just the fighting to survive.
Yeah.
Combos alone ain't gonna save you.
Well, I'll save this for a fighting game, so because I want to like linger.
Oh,
Because you're gonna
fighting
you're gonna
game
you're gonna get me
great.
fucking talking. You're gonna get me actually talking.
Yeah.
But
All right. So.
put it short. Yeah, Sam Show. That game gave me a lot more than I could have ever asked for, so it deserves it.
All right. Cool. Jay, what you got number 4?
Number 4.
These nuts.
Yeah, these nuts in your mouth.
No,
Number 4 is Spyro 2, and this is like purely childhood nostalgia.
Away.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, Spyro on Jay's
I
list.
swear to God,
Crazy.
Mitchell, I swear to absolute
Subway?
Christ,
Bro,
I
Subway?
swear to everything. I swear to
I
everything.
have the usual.
Now I'm gonna get pissed off. Now I'm actually mad.
I
No,
have the usual.
Shut up. If you're watching this video and you heard this for the first time, I don't want you to go look it up.
I'll have this steaming
$5.
shit
Oh my
sandwich.
God.
Do not look it up. Do not, please, for the love of God, for your own sanity.
You know when you say don't look it up, they're gonna look it up.
They're gonna
right?
look
Yeah,
it
I
up.
know.
It's like
That
telling
doesn't
it's like
do
telling
anything.
someone to like not touch a stove. They're gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, right.
Actually, no, I didn't do it. I'm not a dumbass. That's
I did it.
that's a
Yeah, I
dumbass.
didn't do it either.
Yeah,
so
look,
I'm not
yeah, you're a
dumbass.
dumbass. Both of y'all are
I
dumbasses.
did it.
I said I didn't. I said I did.
Oh, you did. My bad. Okay, you're not a dumbass
Oh.
yet.
I did it. I'm a Giga Chad, Sigma male.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
fucking placed his
Like
hand
so
on
sick
there.
these nuts.
Fucking stared at
Giga
his
Chad.
Yeah,
Gave my
Spyro
stare.
offers so much compared to other platformers. Even to this day, in terms of levels and stuff, it is just a crazy journey through a bunch of crazy kingdoms and like Spyro himself is cool.
Hey,
He's
you
voiced
can
by
call
Tom
a
Kenny.
subway bathroom crazy.
Shut up.
That's a kingdom.
Tom Kenny voices Spyro, the voice of SpongeBob, which is also just like Kino in general because I love both SpongeBob and Spyro. And like just the gameplay, like it's a simple gameplay system, but like the worlds you get to explore are awesome. And like I feel like the variety is much better than a lot of other platformers to this day. You look at platformers today, especially like the new ones, a lot of them want to like do the same old like blocky forward. Like, I mean, that's what kind of turns me off from a lot of new platformers. They keep they do that whole like the happy-go-lucky style, but they always pick the same type of environments, and they all blend in.
Yeah, where's the variety?
It's only like a few that stand out. Like it's like Sonic stood out for its crazy environments. Spyro had its crazy environments. Crash, Mario, but Spyro had like some really weird environments. You just wouldn't get unless you played Spyro.
Yeah,
like,
you wouldn't get
get
the local subway.
I'm about to throw a building at you, but you wouldn't get. You just wouldn't get levels like Breeze Harbor or Zephyr, or stuff like the even the system levels of like Skell's Badlands and Crystal Glacier and Metropolis. Those were good levels. Mystic Marsh is a crazy. It's like no one does Africa. I don't know why no one does Africa. It's Savannah, but it's a twist because it's like this alien version of it with these magic people who are turning these snails into like African animals like elephants and stuff, and like you got to fight them, and you just don't get that stuff. You don't get that stuff in any other game, and like to this day, it still holds up. It's better than Spyro 3, because it just has better levels. Levels are just better. I'm not gonna argue with that. You can play hockey, all right. What other fucking platform lets you play hockey? None of them. You can't name one. I mean, that's why Spyro 2
Sonic
is
lets you play
awesome.
pinball.
Yeah, pinball. Yeah, that's why Sonic's number one. But we're gonna say that for later.
Wow, fucking spoiling. What the fuck, bro? Come on now.
Yeah,
Oh,
what the
Ripto's also the
fuck?
story is good. Ripto is, I mean, the story's simple, but it's good, and Ripto is a cool villain. Just like also the skyboxes again, it's just amazing. If you want to look at go look at my Spyro 2 video, plug in my channel, shameless plug. I don't give a
What
damn.
a
watch my
fucking
Spyro 2 video.
shameless plug. Jesus.
If you want to know more about it.
Sponsored by Subway.
Doesn't
No.
Spyro 2 has the remake too, so I mean you have options. You have the
Yes.
original
Yeah.
game and you have the remake, so
Yeah.
Now,
That's
as
pretty
a
cool.
fan,
The remake is how I played it.
now as a person who grew up with the original, it is lackluster in certain parts of the remake, and they took out some of the charm. And it's something that you really won't notice unless you played the original as a kid. Like, for instance, the guidebook was an actual book in 2 and 3, and you could turn the pages, and it's just like aesthetically pleasing. You know, it's really cool because they give you this book. You see the book in the game when they give it to you, and then it's an actual book when you use it because you turn the pages. There's a noise. There's stuff like that. If you play the remaster, it's a generic ass menu in there, and there's certain character models that they just like kind of ruin from the original. It is, and it's because like the same team that did the Spyro 1 remake did Spyro 2, and I think they gave less love to Spyro 2 than Spyro 1, and a whole different team did Spyro 3. So they got a bunch of fixes. So it's kind of like the worst treated of the trilogy, which pisses me off. But as of someone who's gonna like buy that game and play it, you're not gonna notice it like that unless you play the original. And it's not like awful, but it's like little things where it's like, why didn't you just do this? Like that. Like the Crash games had all their menus restored, and Crash 1 got a better start menu in its remaster when it came out than it did in the original, compared to like 2 and 3s. But Spyro 2, like no, and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that pisses me off. But it's still a good remaster. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean I have the remasters, I just haven't gotten to them yet, but I actually have them on my shelf.
It take like each game takes like a couple hours to beat. Like,
Well,
Probably
oh,
not.
I want to say a couple. I
increases.
want to say a couple. Oh yeah.
You see, we had an experiment where we didn't even 100%. It's me and Caden, who might appear on the podcast.
He appeared on the podcast earlier.
If he ever phases back into reality, he'll appear on the podcast.
He's a season 1 character. We don't know how his character arc is going yet.
The reboot didn't really like have space for him yet. Like maybe he'll come in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the part of the character arc where he like disappears for a couple seasons.
Yeah, he disappears.
Maybe he'll come back and
like
get
Sasuke.
He went off on like his training arc.
Like Sasuke, and then eventually we'll have an arc where we
he's on his coding training arc right now, and then he's gonna come back.
Training, and we're gonna see him, and he's gonna be like super powerful.
Anyway, he's like a Spyro and Crash pro like me. Oh, I'm more Spyro, but we had a race, and Spyro 3. And he didn't beat me in Spyro 3, bitch. He beat me in Spyro 3. Shut up. He didn't beat me in Spyro 3.
He beat you overall.
He beat you in 5 out of the 6 games, Jay.
Oh my god, 5?
He didn't beat me in Spyro. He got lucky in 1. He got lucky in 1.
No, there was a point where Jay was stuck at like midway through the game, and like he was just there. Yeah, in Spyro 1. And then Caden was at the end. And then
that's because I tried.
It was the funniest shit imaginable. Mitchell was there. Caden says where he was. Jay just sits there for a second. Spyro is sitting as Jay goes incredibly silent. Then you can just see Jay's mind race as Spyro fucking flees towards a fucking part of the stage.
Listen, the only reason that happened is because I took the 100% route thinking that I would be able to outdo him, but I forgot that in Spyro 1, the gem count increases per level. So I really was gonna get the same amount of gems if I just played it.
Uh-huh,
every
yeah,
week.
sure.
yeah.
5
It
games.
was.
Okay,
Jay.
yeah, excuses.
was.
Excuses.
And then,
Five
but it's on in Spiral 2, it was literally just a couple of mistakes that got me. But Spiral 3, I beat him. I beat it in
5
Spiral
games,
3.
Jay.
I
5
got
games.
that one
The
game.
point,
That one game's all that
Long.
the
matters.
point, and if we do a rematch, I'm beating him in Spiral. I'm taking Spiral. I'm not gonna take
Jay's like
Crash.
Naruto and
I give up. I give up on Crash. All right, that was the battle of the Valley of the End, the first part.
Yeah, currently, Kate beating
games.
your ass.
I
You gotta
beat
You
train,
can't
Spiral
Jay.
keep
3.
getting away with this.
You gotta
Look, I
train,
give
Jay. You
up.
gotta get
I
stronger.
give up on Crash because he's gonna he knows too much. But Spyro is my game. I can beat him in Spyro if I wanted to, and I will do it. Again, point is,
Yeah.
Spyro 3 took us like 6 hours without 100%ing. Actually, no, it took us longer than that. I feel and it got so bad the commentators got tired at that game. It takes like 4 hours to beat Spyro 1. It takes like 6 hours to 100. This is 100%. 100. If you're good, you get 100% Spyro 2 in 6 hours. But if you want 100% Spyro 3, even as a pro, it's gonna take you like 14 hours to do because there's too much shit in that game. So
do I need
it
to
goes
check the
up.
speed runs for you to prove that? I'm
You know,
there's
I mean, the
100%.
speedrunners are gonna use glitches.
There's
I'm talking about
100%,
100%. I'm talking about just 100% in normally the game.
How
Like it's
long
gonna
to
take
beat?
you.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
there are 100% speed runs, Jay. Those do exist.
Yeah, and they're probably gonna do it faster. Yes, but like they're it's just different.
Built different.
It's literally the 3 is no matter what you say, 3 is the longest game debatably. It just goes longer and longer because there's more stuff to do in each game than the last one.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But
Cool.
like, sick. Subway, let's go. When's this
No.
Oh
monster
my
coming?
god, Mitchell, what's your
Mm.
number 4?
Yes.
Hey, we're almost number 3.
Should I make him guess? Guess no.
I'm not gonna. I told you. The last one was
Yes.
the last time.
Yes.
Last one was the last
Yes.
time.
Yes. Come on.
Yes.
Oh my god, fucking Dark Souls 1.
Why the no?
Okay, that's the
Only
last
Warband.
guess. I'm not guessing anymore. Top 3, I'm not guessing.
Well, hey, top 2. Top 2. You guess.
No, you got to guess 3.
You're not gonna get 3.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna guess 3. Okay, I'll give you all a shot at 3. But, I mean,
Okay, what's number
yeah,
4?
Mountain Blade Warband.
It actually is on there. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
How would it not be on there? I got like thousands of hours.
I
mean, it's-
fucking know.
it's
I
pretty-
look. I
Pretty,
guessed
it's a
it.
pretty.
I guessed it before, and you were like, "What? No."
Well, no, what? No, you didn't. You didn't guess it before. Whatever.
I'm fairly certain. Anyways, whatever.
Warband is pretty solid. It's pretty
Yo,
solid
I remember
game.
you said Bannerlord.
Yeah, you said Bannerlord.
Oh, shit.
It's
I
a really
remember that
solid
part.
game. It's mostly here because of the fucking mods, but it's a really solid game. I like it a lot. There's just no other game that's doing it like Mountain Blade Warband. What can I say? There's no other military
what-
simulators that are like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is Mountain Blade Warband? Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't even really know what it is besides
Military
like.
simulator.
It's definitely not your type of game. Most
Oh,
likely.
No, I
know.
think Noah should play it. Noah should stream it.
I'd rather
He
die.
could. It's not that bad, but it's a military simulator, medieval simulator game basically where, you fucking play in this fucking fantasy world or whatever fucking modification you're using. It doesn't matter, and like you go to villages, you recruit soldiers, and you can fucking take over towns, that type of shit, and fight other lords, all that type of stuff, and it's just there's no other games that are doing it like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's become insanely popular in recent years because of that. It's really
Do
solid.
it to it.
I mean,
So.
just for reference, let's pull this up. I'm trying to
4,000.
That's where you're
Almost
at.
5,000. 4,900 something.
Hold on, I'm
Almost
about to check
5,000.
because okay. So just for reference, this is why I would have guessed that this was on Mitchell's top 10. Mitchell has 4,989 hours in this game,
Yeah.
which is absolutely fucking insane.
And there are people who have more than me.
That's
I want you to keep
just
that in mind.
ridiculous. I
Now
could
keep
not
in
believe
mind
it.
also there are modifications that entirely change the game.
Yeah, I mean, like,
multiple times over. Like there are full overhaul mods for like the game multiple times over. So
if I counted
Yeah.
mods, my top 10 would probably be a lot different. Because there are a lot of games you can mod that just make it ridiculously fun.
Yeah, but
I don't
I
know.
would also say that Mountain Blade Warband offers a good enough base to where, like, it still deserves a spot.
Yeah.
It's got
Yeah.
DLC too that has like solid improvements like Viking Conquest and shit. So
Right. Well.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
there you go.
All right. My number 4. It's Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight was gonna be on here.
Oh,
I gassed this shit so hard, dude. Hollow Knight is one of the best games ever, and it's from an indie studio of like
I've heard. It's good.
very few people. I don't remember how many
Yeah.
are in that group, but it's like
more
it
like
even-
I've heard it's shit.
Nah, that's really good. It has the same thing as Cuphead, where it has one of the most like distinct and amazing art styles. Like seriously, I love it, and I love how games now are like there are some games like what is it? Have a Nice Death recently came out, and it kind of has that same art style. I love it, dude. The game looks great. It plays great. It's like a kind of like it's kind of like a Metroidvania. I guess the best way you get your power ups, you explore the area, you fight bosses. It's kind of like the difficulty of them. It's kind of similar to something like the Souls games, but the gameplay is different. But
Souls.
yeah, it's like Souls, right? Yeah,
Dark Souls.
but
Dark Souls. Comparing me to Dark Souls. Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. Did you know this game is like Dark Souls? Did you
yeah,
know?
no, but it does have bosses, and the bosses are pretty difficult. It's pretty fun. It's got DLC. It's on like everything now. It's on PC, PS4, and 5. I don't even know if it's on Xbox, but I know it's on Switch because that's how I played it the first time. But I mean, the game's great, dude. The fact that an indie game is just it blows so many normal games out of the water is wild to me. And also the fact that I'm here clowning every day about the fact that Silk Song still doesn't have a release date makes me want to cry in a puddle. But man, I mean, fuck. I don't know, man. Hollow Knight's just great. Plus, also, if we're going into mods now, Hollow Knight's modding scene I've seen is amazing, and I really want to do that shit. But like the base game just offers so much, and then there's speed running. I've watched Hollow Knight speed runs, and it just is amazing to watch. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say anything. I can't even say anything bad. Like I'm gonna be honest, top 4 can't say anything bad. I mean, I probably could, but it's hard for me too because it's just like I love it. I will say Hollow Knight's probably the only non-nostalgic of the 4 that are left because the other 3 have like some kind of nostalgic thing with them. So this is kind of I would say Hollow Knight's probably like the best on my top 10 just with no nostalgia, simply a good game. Cannot point out like anything wrong with it. It's literally like $20. It's not even a full price game. It's amazing. That's pretty much it. That's what I got. But are we ready for top 3? Is top 3?
Yeah.
Is it time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this is the crazy shit right here. All right, Brian, what do you got for your number
Before I
3?
say my top 3, I gotta give my sponsorship out to Subway, serving up the Spyro special.
I'll have my usual.
Sponsoring this episode. Go to Subway and ask for the Spyro special, and they'll know what you're talking about.
It was so cool. They had a fucking Elden Ring crossover. That was so.
They
epic.
did?
Spyro.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
epic. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Spyro. It was so fucking
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah. So like, yeah, go order the Spyro sandwich at Subway. You can do it on DoorDash and use our coupon code staring at the ceiling.
Yeah,
but if you do it in
wish
person,
we were
you're gonna get an
actually
amazing
sponsored.
treat. You're gonna get
Yeah.
an amazing treat, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna see the fucking amazing sight. They're gonna put on a show for you. And you're gonna get some delicious food at Subway. So yeah, use that coupon code on DoorDash or tell them staring at the ceiling sent you.
God, if only we were actually sponsored.
That'd be nice.
I would have gotten
I
this
want money.
fucking. Yeah, I want money. I actually want money. Subway, can you
chill.
like do that? Yeah, I'll
I'll chill.
I'll be the
Chill.
Wayne's World
You'll
scene
see Mitchell
where he
eating a
has
bunch
the
of
Pepsi
Subway
and everything.
sandwiches.
You will. I'll be dressed up.
Yeah, I'll have the
He's gonna
Subway
have the
shirt.
Subway outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Oh
But-
no!
Anyway, so the top 3, like my top 3 Subway sandwiches at Subway sponsored.
All right.
Mario 3.
Mario. I mean, I know you like Mario 3. I forgot it was that much.
Yes, it is one of the first games I actually have memory of. Now, my first actual game was Mario 1, because like I'm like a 47-year-old boomer inside a 22-year-old's body, you know. I'm just like that high intellectual about video games, you know. But
Mm.
but yeah, Mario 3 is one of the first ones I actually have memories of, and I really like that game a lot. I played it a lot with my mom on her NES, and that's how I played it. It's just a really simple fucking game. It's wholesome. I just like it a lot. Mainly because that I just associate it with really wholesome shit. Like playing with my mom. And I don't know. I don't know. It's like it's just a really simple fucking game. That's kind of how it goes for all the I would say like Mario 1 through like Sunshine and Galaxy and shit. You know, like those main games. It's just really simple. I don't know, let's say it's just like perfect to me. I don't know, Mario 3 is perfect. There's obviously people like Mario World more.
Me, me.
But like I don't know, I just think Mario 3 is just like fucking nice. It's probably nostalgia, but
Oh
I
no,
just like it more.
it's
I
just
like a lot of the aesthetics, like it's a theater play and shit. Like I love that shit.
I kind of
Oh,
get where
see,
you're at, where it's kind of hard for you to describe in some ways, because I mean, for you, it's mostly a nostalgia pick. Like that's just where you're
Yeah,
at.
it's just
I
nostalgia.
just want to say that's like exactly how I am with Mario World. Except it was my cousins
Yeah.
that gave me and played it on the GBA. Like I think it's just what I think. Whatever one is your favorite is just going to be nostalgia because they're both like really good games.
Yeah.
But I have more nostalgia for that and Yoshi's Island, and that's why like I would prefer those over that.
Yeah. Like
Didn't start playing Mario games until early 2010s, and it started with Sunshine.
I forgot about that. You only played sports games
Well,
on
no, no,
3.
no. So I played sports games when I was like younger, and then I had like Mario World on my Game Boy. Never beat it. I like would keep playing the start over and over. I'd be like, I'm gonna play it this time, and then I would just not touch it again. So yeah,
3?
my mhm.
But okay. But yeah. Um yeah, you were a late bloomer with
Yeah,
Sunshine.
my childhood Mario was mostly the sports games and like other
My
spin-offs like Mario
mine
Kart.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the same deal. It's just that I had like for the 2D ones, they were just those. 'Cause I had like Galaxy and Sunshine and 64 DS and the
Yeah,
Mario Party 6 and stuff.
I feel kind of left out here because I started with the boomer shit. I literally started with like an actual NES, Mario 1, 2, and 3, and I started with an N64 with just Mario 64. Like I started with
Yeah.
like the original versions of these games
Bro,
and shit.
See, a lot of us had the Game Boy versions, the Game Boy
I didn't
Advance
play
versions of
Mario
it.
64
Yeah.
until recently with the 3D All-Stars collection.
Oh, and
That's
Mario
wild to me.
2.
I
Mario
played
2 was
Mario
another one.
64 when I was in fucking diapers, dude. That is fucking bizarre to me. You
Yeah,
have
let me tell
no
you,
idea.
as somebody who played Mario 64 in 2021, that shit was wild.
I was playing that shit in the year 2000 before 9/11 happened in my fucking diapers.
Oh
All
my
right.
Yeah,
god.
we weren't like you. We had the handheld versions of that, especially like Mario World and Mario 2.
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
I didn't get a console past the N64 era. Well, I mean, this was the fucking generation right after the N64. But until 2003 with my PS2. So from like that span, no, 2004. 2004 actually. Uh, it may have been '03. I don't remember. My memory's fucking hazy. I was a fucking 3-year-old or 4-year-old or whatever. Um, but yeah, I like grew up on NES and N64 specifically until like a little later on. So a lot of my first like game memories are with like NES games and like the LJN like Nightmare on Elm Street by Rareware and like Friday the 13th games. I'm fucking nostalgic for those games. I can't hate them at all. Like I don't
Mhm.
know, like I absolutely just cannot bring myself to like shit on those games. Even
No
though
matter
Friday the
how
13th is
garbage
shit.
they are.
Yeah, I
you
can't
know, real talk.
genuinely like.
What were y'all like y'all first set of consoles? Because mine was like the PS2, the GameCube, and then my mom went back and kind of beat me a PS1, which is why I had like Spyro.
Yeah, no, I mean
NES,
it was pretty much that generation.
N64, PS1.
Yeah, N64, GameCube, PS2, PS1, that kind of thing.
I didn't get a GameCube until Mario Party 7 came out.
That's rough, dude.
I got
On that,
mine. It was a Mario Kart Double Dash bundle, but my mom also got me the Incredibles. Which I lost that game too. I lost that Double Dash copy. But it was that bundle, and it makes me mad to this day because like like a year later, I got into Sonic. I should probably talk about the other thing, but to kind of skip it, I had that bundle that had like Sonic Heroes and Monkey Ball in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
2
had that
pack that's like
bundle.
really expensive now.
Yeah, I had that bundle. I had the complete bundle of it, right, with the cover art and everything, and I still have those copies. Actually, no, the Monkey Ball disc is beyond repair at this point for certain reasons.
What did
The
you do?
Sonic Heroes.
Throw it against the wall?
No, I lost it, but I realized it was under this like under this dresser for a long ass time, and I guess the dust and shit just like completely molded the disc.
Ugh.
Because I mean, it wasn't mold on it, but like it's like this little like stain on it, like this
Yeah.
little like a scratch, and it freaking like it won't play, like it won't even get. It just says like error, and Heroes is fine, except sometimes it used to error on the boss fights.
Yeah.
But like I had that bundle and I had it complete. And looking back on it, as a kid, and there's a bunch of reasons why CMB is so like hard to get nowadays, especially for Game Boy Advance, is because nobody cared about the cases. So people would throw it away, or just throw it anywhere. And and that thing is cardboard, so obviously I threw it away, and I didn't care about it. And then now look what happened. Now I could have been said, well, it's not that I care about the money, but I would have liked to have that displayed, the case at least, because it did look cool.
Yeah.
But now it's like $800 gone.
Like
Mario 3 though, yeah.
Oh yeah, Mario 3 was like I just really like that fucking game. It's just nostalgia, essentially.
We were bound to have nostalgia picks here.
I still have memories about fucking like very clearly, like very fucking clearly of me being some fucking little like shithead toddler fucking playing that game. So I think there's pictures of me doing it too. So yeah.
All right.
That's why it's number 3. It's just always gonna stay there.
Man,
Jay,
me and
what you
Brian
got?
were talking before I go into. We were talking about this. You say your pictures. Our parents like keep wanting to take pictures of a bunch of BS that we would do, but they would never like. We saw like there's a YouTube channel we watch called like My Retro Life. They never would record us like playing the game or like getting a game like that. They would just take pictures of a bunch of other stuff, and it's like it'd be real nice if they would have done that, because that was like what we actually liked, and it would have been like cool to like look back on archive. But no, we got to take a picture of some underwear or some shit, Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking taking a pic of us as a baby, fucking taking baths and shit.
Yeah, take a picture of me playing Mario 3, damn it.
Yeah, that's actually cool. That would be cool to look back at, because you see like your young self.
Yeah, that channel's actually really cool. If you look at it for that reason, because it's basically just like because the dad was in the games too. So it's just like a thing of him and his son bonding over video games, documented by film. And he literally did it for like until he died, when like the dude was like 16 or 17 when his dad died, and his dad recorded like every bit and shit.
That's crazy.
So it's a really wholesome channel to watch, and you can see things like he used to go so hard, like he imported a Japanese GameCube and shit, and would import games. It was fucking sick.
He imported Sonic Adventure 2, but got FIFA 03.
Yeah. When it came out, so yeah, they were molding.
All right.
There's like it's literally like documented like on film when he unboxes it and notices it's FIFA 3, so you can see the initial disappointment. It's really funny.
I wanted Sonic, I got soccer. Damn it.
It's not even the good FIFA either. It's like not even like the better one that came out that generation. But to go on my third game, it have to be now. This could have been multiple things, but I have to go with this. Is just like that other PlayStation mascot fucking thing. It could have been Sly 2. It could have been Jack 2. It could have been Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time, because that game is fucking probably the best PS3 game. But I gotta go with Ratchet and Clank. Damn, I have to go with 2 here, and it's just Ratchet and Clank going commando, Ratchet and Clank up your arsenal. And the reason why I do that is because of the multiplayer for one, and the single player is better than another one. But like together, they're like literally a whole PS2 trilogy together is like
Jay's
best.
cheating again. He's putting two.
Well, I'm a chief for
games
that
in one
last
slot.
one. You already know what's gonna happen
Shaking
with
my
that.
damn head. What a
Shaking my
cheer.
head.
But
Fucking cheater.
Ratchet and Clank. I mean, I've come to figure out that reason why I like a lot of those platformers like that is because they do more than just the platformer. It's kind of like how I said with fighting games, like the 3D fighters. How like I want more than just the fighting in it. Like how I feel about that. It's the same with platformers. It's kind of the same with a bunch of genres. I like it when they do other things besides just what the genre does. And those games do other things besides just what the genre. It's not like the platforming is not, this crazy thing, but there's so much else to it. Like it's a running shooter. You have spaceship levels. You have races and stuff. Right? You can race on hover bikes and stuff. Weapons. The weapons are all varied, and the story is great, funny, and entertaining. And Ratchet and Clank are just like cool as fuck. All right, all the gadgets you have and stuff. Just the levels. Again, it's made by Insomniac, and they took that Spyro stuff and they made it. They did the same thing with Ratchet, where like it's just stuff like unique to Ratchet. It's not just future cities and shit. It's like a Pacific type of theme meant like that only Ratchet could really do with the gears and stuff. It's a lot to go into, and then 3 up your arsenals there because the game is still really good. It has a lot of good weapons, but like it's lacking on some of the things that 2 had. But the multiplayer is like phenomenal, and like I still have hours playing with friends on that multiplayer. Back in the day, you gotta have the whole trilogy to really experience, because each one offers something different, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
But it's just awesome. I'll make a video on it to go in depth more. But,
Oh my
not
God.
right now.
Jay is gonna shill his channel every single fucking
And I'm gonna shill it. I'm gonna shill
spot
it.
he puts.
These videos take like 2 months to make. I'm gonna shill
He's
it
gonna
as
be
much as I
like,
can.
all right, my number 2 I talked about on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. My number 1 I also talked about on my YouTube channel. Go check it out.
I haven't
Yeah,
talked
but
about, I
I'm
actually talked
gonna
about number
stop
2.
and give you some promotion for our good sponsor Subway.
Oh my
Once again,
God.
use the DoorDash
No.
code staring at the ceiling for a free Subway Spyro steamer.
We don't have this sponsorship. Please don't do that. We don't have this
Oh,
sponsorship.
no.
Don't
All right.
listen.
Hello,
Let's
Something here. What
get
would you
away
like
from
today?
the sponsorship.
I'll have my usual. Thanks,
Mitchell, what's your number 3?
All right, well, this is open to everybody. Guess, because
If
You
it's
had a
open, I'm
week.
definitely not getting it. No.
got a
I mean,
week.
is this the one that Jay's been trying to guess for the past?
Slip
Yeah.
and Jimmy episode 2 Exorcister.
All right, shut the fuck up.
It's got to be Deadliest Warrior.
No, it's not fucking Deadliest Warrior.
There's got to be Shadow the Hedgehog.
No,
It wasn't just me. No, we were
Yeah, of
all
course,
trying to
of
guess
course.
it. And we couldn't figure out.
No, you were the one who was like trying to ask specific questions. Like this happened right after we recorded the part 1 of
You
the
asked
podcast.
too. You
Jay's right
asked
here,
too,
and he's
though.
like, I did not. Jay's like right here, and he's asking all these specific questions. It's like fucking, what is it, 20 questions or whatever. He's just sitting there like, is it a platformer? Is it an open world? And we're like, Jay,
All right,
shut
all right.
up.
You
I'm gonna
kept asking
break-
questions too.
I'm gonna break a rule here. Well, not really a rule, actual rule. But,
What's with all
typically
these
you wouldn't.
cheaters?
You wouldn't, have a game that's like kind of incomplete or whatever, or that needs a mod or whatever. But I feel like this is the exception to the rule. Okay, it's
Mhm.
Knights of the Old Republic 2 with the restoration mod. Okay, so
I thought I said Star Wars. You said no.
you
You're
said
fucking
Knights of
lying.
the Old Republic. Okay, you didn't say
I
Knights
was
of the Old
close.
Which
Republic.
is a Star Wars
I
game.
was close.
Wait a minute.
Knights of the
I
Old
was
If you
Republic.
said Star Wars, that's so broad.
You didn't say Star Wars. You said Knights of the Old Republic, and you didn't
I
say
was
Knights of the
close.
Old Republic 2.
Yeah.
So it's not
I
Knights of
was
the Old
close.
Republic.
I was close.
Okay, so it's Knights of the Old Republic 2 with the restoration mod. Knights of the Old Republic 1's a pretty solid game. It's a BioWare game. It's pretty solid, back when they weren't shit, fucking long ago. But Knights of the Old Republic 2 is probably my favorite piece of Star Wars media. It's pretty fucking peak, but it does need a restoration mod because in typical Obsidian Entertainment fashion, it had an unfinished development cycle. So it's an unfinished mess of a fucking game without the restoration mod, and huge swaths of the story are fucking just completely missing without it. So, you know,
And
but
the
with
mod's
the restoration
fan-made?
mod, yes, it's fan made, but it like restores cut content that's like in the files and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but with that restoration mod, it is one of the best games, like one of the best Western role playing games of all time. It is actually peak. Like, it's one of the best pieces of Star Wars media that's come out pretty much ever. And you know, it's not related to pretty much anything in the fucking current shit. You know, like we have to do every day nowadays.
Mitchell,
You know,
aren't you
Disney's Star Wars.
aren't you excited for the remake of Knights of the Old Republic?
No, I'm not.
And now it's not gonna be a Western RPG anymore. It's gonna be something else.
It's going to be ass. I just know it.
Nah, it'll turn out great. I don't know why. I forgot that you really like Knights of the Old Republic. Like, if I remembered that, I would have said that at some point, but I kind of just forgot
See, I'm a
about that
Mitchell
game.
fanboy, so I remember.
Well, you didn't remember that it was 2, not 1. So
Well, no,
you've already
I
failed.
said 1 because I remember you. No, because I remember you were talking about it, and you specifically said that like 1 was better than 2. I remember that. Other people
I've
said
never said that.
you have.
I've never said that. Those words have
Yeah.
never come out of my mouth, and you are
Yeah.
lying. Those
No.
words have never come out of my mouth.
They have.
1 is not better than 2 by any means. I'm sorry, it's not. It's solid, but it's not better than 2.
It's metal, it's gear, and it's solid. Like shit.
So, moving on.
All right.
Noah.
Number 3. I got Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on here. I love me some Xenoblade. And yeah, it's better than Persona. I'll throw that out there. Yeah, I mean Xenoblade Chronicles
Yikes.
2, it's not really much nostalgia because the game's only like not even 5 years old yet, but it is the JRPG that really got me into playing JRPGs. Like I played Persona 4, got past the first dungeon and stopped playing it. And I hadn't really played that many JRPGs before that, and I was like, I don't know why, I just didn't like them. And then I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I actually finished the game because I was so invested in it. And then I went back and I beat Persona 4.
my words.
And then I beat Persona 5, and then I've been playing JRPGs since. But no, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I mean, it's got its issues. Everybody has
I'm
different things that
crunching
they-
my thighs.
Look, hold on. Everybody has
No,
their...
I'm
go
going.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
good. So everybody has their opinions on Xenoblade Chronicles
Xenogears
2.
better.
It has its problems, but I mean,
Go
the
ahead.
story is amazing. The
Xenosaga
characters are really good.
Go
I
ahead.
think
Noah.
I'm trying. I think a lot of people judge a lot of the characters on surface level, and you know some characters do have problems, but I just think overall
Because they're
the
poorly
characters
written. But don't.
Yeah,
no, they are not.
Yeah,
But
they
okay.
Ours-
But yeah, no, the character's really good. The soundtrack is bombing. Xenoblade Chronicles. I wouldn't say Chronicles has a better soundtrack than the Persona series, but some tracks in like the Xenoblade series, bang, dude, it's fucking
That is
ridiculous.
true. That is true.
That is true. That is true.
I would say I almost wish Xenoblade did not come out on the Switch because, like, performance-wise, the game's not terrible. Don't run it in handheld mode. God, please don't. But, like, man, if this came out on, like, anything else, this game would be beautiful, dude. It's still
It's
fine.
beautiful.
It's still a good
an
game. It's
achievement.
just-
it's an achievement for
Yeah.
the Switch, but
Yeah, it still has performance issues, but like the combat's really good too. It's got its problems, like the fact that it tutorials you basically the entire game because there's so much shit to the combat. But once you figure it out, it's extremely fun. It's got a lot of content.
Extremely
all-
fun is a very strong phrase.
It's got a bunch of different blades, so you can change up the combat and the different types of
Yeah.
combat, different characters.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's got this gacha mechanic, which isn't amazing, but it's also like I'm
Just
not gonna
wanted
judge the game
Cosmos.
that harsh on
I
it.
just wanted Cosmos.
Look, I was one of those people. I didn't get Cosmos until like 100 hours in, bro. Look, but it's an amazing game. This is another situation where Chronicles 1 is really good too, and it could go in this spot. But
It's better game,
2 is the one I started
Better
with, so it
story,
goes there.
better characters, better everything.
I like 2's characters more, but that's just me. But
Rex has no drip and is a loser.
but no, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a really good game. I really love it. And Brian, I know you're sitting there. What do you got for me?
I'm more seated. I played
I'm
the
in.
other
I'm
ones.
in. I'm in a. I'm
I'm
in a
more seated.
zen. I'm in a zen mood right now.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't call you a fucking idiot. Maybe I won't.
What's the problem?
Maybe I won't.
Hey, look, I'm
Hey.
seething more to be honest, because I played like Gears and Saga and stuff, and like
Maybe I won't say how you're fucking stupid. Alright?
Dude,
Maybe I won't.
I got
the
really
issue-
attached to all the characters of 2.
You have
I
the
loved it
shittiest
a
taste
lot.
imaginable.
if,
Maybe
if
I
you,
won't.
What?
if you want to know why,
No, we're
I wanna
not
know
doing
why
this.
me and Brian are so like up Noah's ass about the game. You know, I played the game. I didn't
Oh, I'm
beat the
far up
game.
his ass. My fist is out his mouth. He is dead right now.
I played the game. I got to chapter 5. All right, and you know, I gave the game multiple chances because I really wanted to enjoy it. But I got to chapter 5 and I stopped playing after a while. And I thought about going back. I was like, I'm so far in the game, I'm gonna have to restart. And my thing was just like this. It was just like, you know, I'm playing this game. I'm at chapter 5. I'd say it's about 30 hours in the game, and I'm still not having that much fun. Like I'm not. It's not fun. It's not. I don't like the story. Is not you know, grabbing me. I mean, there's points in the story where you know you're kind of a little bit invested at that point, but the story's not grabbing me. And it's like chapter 5 of the game. The game has 9 freaking chapters. The first 3 chapters of the game are a lot tutorial. You don't even get the combo, like the blade combo shit, until like chapter 3 of the game, which is like a lot of hours in, which is really stupid because you compare it to 1. And my thing is not really that like they spend a tutorial for different things, because personally I don't think the system is that complicated to where they have to do that. This isn't some like Tri-Ace game or anything like that where they have to do that. But it is a game, but it is a system where you know they can like slowly do it. And Xenoblade 1 just kind of puts you in the action. It paces it out well. You know, look, one of my favorite RPGs I mentioned last time was Dragon Quest 7. Dragon Quest 7, depending on what version you had, the PS1 version, you might not get in the battles until 5 hours in. But you know what carries you? The story and the world and the shit you go through. The same with like, you know, the same with it's the pacing that matters more than just like you know the combat stuff. And the pacing of Xenoblade just isn't, in my opinion, it's like one of the worst. You have this like really great start, but then from there it's like so slow, and they force you to do shit with different mini games and stuff. And it's like you don't want to play that. You want to get into the action. Like imagine if FF7 started, like, and after like the first hour, it forced you to play like the goddamn. It forced you to play that poppy mini game. Forced you to play the golden saucer mini game. Like no one would care. Like people would be pissed off because the pacing is terrible. And that's the main issue with it. And if you get to a point where I'm just like bored, I'm not going to beat your game. You know, I'm just gonna drop it and move on to something else. Xenoblade 1, I haven't beaten Xenoblade 1. I gotten, you know, decently far in the game, but it's so much better. And the only reason I haven't beaten it is not because I'm bored, but just because like I gotta put time aside to beat it. There's a difference. And the pacing is much better. You get to the combat, you get to the importance of the combat, you know, paced out well, and you unlock more Monado ability. It feels so natural. But you compare it to 2, it's like, bro, I don't
Yeah,
even think I don't even think you get the option to switch blades until chapter 4, if I remember
no,
correctly.
you
'Cause,
get. I think you get blade switching in chapter 2. You just don't get like rare blades for a minute, but you get like the common ones. I think chapter 2 gives you them.
you get it's because I know because I think I remember the first, because you get that rock. I think the rock was like the first one you get,
No,
and it's
rock.
like because
You don't actually get rock for a while. That's
no chapter 4, yeah.
no,
You know,
because
the
you
dudes.
have the Van Dam, like slight spoilers. Van Dam has rock, and then you know Van Dam dies.
That's
So
chapter 4. That's
so
at
then
chapter
rock.
3. He
No,
died.
it's way later. Jay, you're talking to a guy who's
No,
beaten that game
no,
and played through
bro.
it multiple
I know.
times.
I remember the game in chapter 3. The end of chapter 3 is he goes off to the big refrigerator in the sky, and
Right,
then
right.
Mithra shows up, and then like that's like when it's like really about switching, and then also like you inherit
Jay,
like
you
Rex
can
inherit.
definitely switch blades before that point. I know for sure you can switch blades before Mithra shows up. For sure.
And then that's when like Rock becomes, and I think Rock had like a whole. I remember Rock had a whole tutorial about something.
Yeah, that
with
was for
blade
field
switching.
skills. That was for field skills.
it's just I don't know, man. It's just
But no,
change
I could
pace.
definitely agree. I think the biggest hurdle for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the beginning. If you can't get past the beginning, it's understandable why. It is slow.
Yeah,
I
it's like
enjoy it. I
15
think
hours.
it's slow. I admit it. I enjoy it though. So for me it's good, but I can understand for some people if, you really want this to like get a little more intense early and it doesn't. It's definitely a little
And the, and
slower in the
the
beginning.
characters aren't as strong. I know people are gonna say like, "Well, you got to play it in Japanese. You got to play in Japanese." Nigga, it is 20. It was by the time the game came out, it was 27 freaking teen. All right, this is not the 90s when it comes to the English dubs. All right, we're not playing Legend of Dragoon, which had a better story, better character, better game, everything. But that's a whole different story. This is not the 90s where we have like terrible voice acting. We've had multiple RPGs with great voice acting in English, with great things in English, and the default language is going to be English. Most people are going to play in English because it's their native language. All right, if that sucks, that's a freaking problem. And if the characters are better in Japanese, that's a cool thing, but that's still stupid. How is like that in the dub because they just aren't. Only a few like Van Damme's cool. I admit Van Damme's cool. Power Emitter okay. Rex sucks. All right, he has no drip. All right, no drip, no style, no substance. He's just trash. All right, he's a trash character. Okay, and
Yeah,
then
nah, I can't agree with that, but hey, I understand people don't like him. But to me, like, especially when you look more into the characters or when you get farther into the game, it's just like the last like 3 to 4 chapters with the characters. That's when they like go off. And I'm not saying it's not good before that. It is, but the last 3 to 4 is when everything comes together and all the characters are just really good. I love them all. I mean, I can't. I know y'all aren't going to agree with me on this one. This is definitely one of the more controversial on my list, and it's just gonna be how it is. I love Xenoblade 2. It's the game that really got me into JRPGs, and that's about it. Can't really say more on that. But y'all are gonna love number 2. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna love that
I
one.
feel bad for arguing with Noah on this because it's like we're trying to express our things, but like I don't know. I don't know.
If
It's
I
just
if
kind
I
of
wanted
funny.
to defend myself on 2, it'd be like a fucking 2 hour long essay on why I love the game. We would be here all day if I had to defend myself on this
Thank
one.
God you don't do that shit because I would shut that shit down immediately.
Yo. All right, Brian. We got top
What?
2, last 2. What's your number 2?
Can you guess?
It okay, I know one of them and it's gonna be number 1. I cannot think of number 2. I'm gonna be real with you. What is number 2?
Mega Man 2.
Fuck! Why did I not think Mega Man? I know what your number 1 is though. I know
So
it.
in reality, this is likely a tie between Mega Man 2, Mega Man X4, and Mega Man Legends 2. And I'm pretty sure when I replay Legends 2 soon, Legends 2 will take the spot because Legends 2 is peak fiction. But Mega Man 2 is just for classic games, it is just the staple classic game for me. It's the popular opinion because everyone gasses Mega Man 2. Well, I guess not so anymore because there's certain people. We'll talk about that someday. But hmm. But
I
hey,
like
Nizzo,
Mega Man
talking
2.
about
What are you looking
no,
at
no,
me?
it's not you.
no,
No, it's not
no. I'll
you. It's
just
not you.
let's get I'll give it a brief description. Uh, Everyone is trying to. It's become a situation where everyone is trying to tell you, "Hey, Mega Man 2 sucks. It was never good, and it sucks because I suck at the game." Essentially, it boils down to.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but basically, yeah. I think it's like now some people will get mad. I think it's like the quintessential classic game. All the bosses are pretty like strong in terms of design and shit.
except
Things are
Boba.
basic. The things are basic. But I mean, like it's the second game of the series. It's kind of what the first one should have been. Now, I don't dislike Mega Man 1 that much as other people. I actually kind of like it. It has a lot of flaws because it's the first game, but it's kind of a thing of like Mega Man 2 is like the true first game of the series. It's just kind of like really nice to play. It has some shit like I've heard, fucking Wily 3 fucking every day of my goddamn life, but I'm like, okay, like I know the fucking flaws and shit. Like Metal Blade being overpowered. I think that's fun actually, but I think games should give me more overpowered. So that's just kind of how I view it.
I never understood people getting upset at like okay overpowered stuff in single player games.
Yeah, unless it absolutely breaks the experience, which Metal Blade does not, because you can still die.
Yeah.
Like you can still die. It's easier, sure, but it's fun. I don't care. I think there's just some points. Now this is like a topic for another podcast, but I think there's some points where people get so heavy in the critique about games and shit, or media in general, where they forget there's just something of like just basic joys, and I think shit like broken shit like Metal Blade and like old ass
We should
games
have
is
a podcast episode
basic
about that.
joy.
Let's
Yeah, like
just in general, because I think I was watching a video today, like about like '06, and the guy was just like he wasn't even saying like the game was that like good. He was just talking about like what he liked in it, and like
yeah,
immediately people were like, "No, you gotta say this, you gotta say that," you know, and like you know, we made fun of Noah earlier, but like at the end of the day, you know, I'm kind of glad Noah can stand up for himself and be like, "Fucking yeah, I like this game. Fuck you."
yeah. You can stand up for being a fucking idiot.
Can stand up for one of the best
Because
games ever made.
like at the end of the day, it's just kind of annoying when people like are very like I don't know. Everyone tries to be analytical. They can't be analytical, and they're very like, oh, you gotta like this, you gotta hate this because of this and this and that. And it's like
No,
a lot of times people don't care.
my
This is the
favorite
reality.
my favorite thing is, bro, my controversial opinion. It's like it's an opinion.
Yeah.
It's meant to be
Yeah.
controversial because
It's
opinions are different. I don't think you understand how
yeah.
opinions.
It's
work.
meant to cause discussion.
If
I
if we
can't
if we all
stand-
thought Sonic 06 was the worst game of all time, it wouldn't be an opinion. It would be a consensus. Like it would be a consensus. It's kind of how it works.
Yeah, and it's like with Mega Man 2, it's like I don't care if you don't like it. Like I don't care about your video game opinions, you know what I mean? Like I don't give a shit. Like it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like but like I've heard discussion about Mega Man 2 for 5 million years, like since I got into Mega Man as a fucking kid. Like I've heard it over and over again. I've heard the same Wily 3 complaints. I've heard the same fucking Metal Blade complaints.
And then they get the freaking complaint. They get like people will like just like call them out, be like, yeah, that's kind of like it wasn't that big of a deal, and be like, oh, the mega bullies, they're
Yeah, the
mega
Mega
bullying
Boys.
me.
Oh god, we gotta have podcasts on that, man. But like it's like I just like it. That's it. Again, I think
Yeah.
Mega Man Legends 2 could beat it, because I really like Legends 2. But yeah. Mega Man X4 is also close. I know I wasn't gonna do honorable mentions, but Mega Man X4 is also close because I think that is the perfect X game. It is like the quintessential X game. And it's just what I think of when I think of Mega Man. But Mega Man 2 is also what I think of classic. Now, I will say Mega Man 11, over time, and I never expected this, Mega Man 11 is actually really close to 2 for me. Like, it's very fucking close. I think 11's really fucking good. Like, I think it's like S tier shit.
Yeah.
I know there's some boomers that don't like it. They can eat my ass. And yeah, but yeah, number 2 is Mega Man 2. It's just been a favorite game of mine since I was a kid, and I love it to death. So
Yeah, I mean,
There we go.
I went through all the Mega Man games before 11 came out, and I probably wouldn't say 2's my favorite. I didn't, grow up with it or anything, but it would definitely be like top 3 for me. But I don't know, I really liked like 6 and 7 were really good. I really
Yeah.
liked Mega Man 6 and 7, but
Actually,
2 is definitely
My
there.
first
6 and
time
7
playing
really
2 was
good.
on the iPhone.
Bro, the
Ooh.
iPhone
I
version of
guess
Mega
I
Man
should-
2, I had that.
Before they updated all the versions, like when I had an iPod Touch.
Yeah, where it had like the little cabinet and stuff, and it was really shit to control. Bro,
Yeah,
I
those are
had
really
that.
100%
There's
F1 for the first time on that too, and that was a really bad port.
Oh, that X1 port's fucking terrible. Where it has the flash animation graphics and shit.
Like every time like how like they in the SNES it like scrolls to the next room. That
Yeah.
version it doesn't have the scroll. It just like the screen goes black. It's like it has to load the next area.
It's the best
I
thing
think I
ever
remember
made.
that.
I miss it
I remember
so
when that port
much.
came out.
I wish I still had my phone that had that version. I'm so upset.
I guess I should, because I gave my history with Mario 3 before. I guess I should give my history with Mega Man, huh? It's like my favorite fucking game series in general. But I got into it in a different way. So I grew up with an NES and shit. but I didn't grow up with Mega Man specifically in my early like years. I didn't get into Mega Man until I got on the internet, which was at a pretty early age. Like I was like fucking 3 or 4 using a fucking computer, at the time. And like it was really when I was like conscious, like fucking sentient enough to understand the internet and shit and understand like I can look up video game shit on computer kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Um Throughout the years I would go on Newgrounds. 'Cause I started on Newgrounds like pretty fucking early, like when I was like 4 or 5. Like I would just find it, I'd be like, there's like a specific Kirby animation. Me and my boyfriend rewatched it the other day. And it brought back fucking like extremely latent memories. Um Hidden memories, I should say. And like obviously I heard the Mega Man through that because like so many of those fucking animations and shit like AVGN too would mention it, right? And like obviously the Mega Man sprite's iconic and every company in the world fucking uses it.
Every retro YouTuber,
Yeah,
uh,
every retro YouTuber.
shitty
Fucking
version of
Bethesda
Sprite.
uses it. Bethesda fucking makes Vault Boy fucking shit with it. Like it's crazy. But like everyone knows the sprite and shit. So I heard Mega Man through that. And it wasn't really until I was about like 11 or 10 years old when I got really into emulation. I knew what emulation was beforehand, but I was a stupid kid. But like when I was like 10 or 11, that's when I figured it out. And I figured out how to emulate like NES, SNES, PS1 games and all that kind of shit. And that's how I played Mega Man 2 for the first time. And I sucked ass and I eventually
So,
just kept playing Mega Man games until I got better, and I really enjoyed the series. And I played them when I was like 10 or 11, like the classic games, but I got really into it when I was 12, and it became a big part of me, essentially.
mhm.
And I played through a lot more, like the X games and shit when I was 12. I played through X7, X8, and all that shit. So yeah, I like. I used to have the fucking I played X7 on PCS X2, which is the worst experience imaginable for that game, and it's awful. Um, and I played X8 through this like fucking rank ass PC port. I'm gonna have to find it again. But yeah, like fucking Mega Man's just big to me. That's the thing. And fucking Mega Man 2
Oh.
started that, so it kind of holds a special place. Even though there's like games that could beat it, I think, in terms of what I like. But yeah, it's just kind of a special place kind of game for me.
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot about Mega Man. Honestly, I was like, I can't, because I know what your number one's gonna be. I
It's been a
fucking
hot
know.
minute since I
If
talked about Mega Man,
if
hasn't
your
it?
number one isn't what I think it is, I'm gonna be so upset.
It most likely is what you think it is.
Exactly. All right, Jay. What's your number two, Jay?
You probably already know what number 2 is. Y'all probably know because I haven't mentioned it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, y'all guess. It's not
It,
Sonic, so I don't think it's
it's a
Sonic. No.
crash. It's a crash game.
No,
No,
Did you already mention Crash?
bro. If Spyro's on a list in my top 10, then Crash is not on that list. That's
What?
Tony Hawk.
Oh,
yes,
Tony Hawk.
yes, Tony Hawk,
Tony
but it's
Talk? What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, so I should also mention Subway are they're trying to do
Oh my
sandwiches with
God! I
Oh,
Tony
swear to
Hawk.
God.
Again,
I
we're
will
on that
boot you
one.
out of this fucking
$5
podcast if you keep mentioning Subway.
$5 shit long.
shut
Yeah,
up.
that's our new slogan. Remember the user code. Anyways,
Okay.
All right, Tony Hawk is
God.
kind of hard to pick because like I do like the first Pro Skater games, but like I think people they're like I saw like the completionist video, and again it's opinions, whatever. But like I was like I noticed like a lot of people were like saying, "Oh yeah, like after Pro Skater 3 or someone even said Pro Skater 2, the series went downhill." I'm just like, what are you talking about? The gameplay got better, the modes got better. Like if you look at the series, it didn't get worse until after American Wasteland because they start cutting features. But that's why it's kind of hard because I really do like the Underground 1, 2, and American Wasteland like the peak in my opinion. And it's so much to peak that there's a mod for Underground 2, and that's why I had to go with Underground 2 because American
Hell
Wasteland
yeah.
changed some stuff with the gameplay a bit, but it did have a cool single player like if like their game is boosted by a single player because it's like open world. It had like hallways to like hide the stuff, but it was a PS2 game that was open world. It's no other game like it. You skate. It's like a punk simulator. You know, skating in California. You can ride bikes. You can spray graffiti. There was a great story with it. This is a really good game, and that's like number. But Underground One also had a really good story of coming up and stuff as a young skater and shit. That was a really good game. And Underground Two story in comparison is pretty weak, but it has Jackass in it and Viva La Bam stuff in it, and just like it is a weaker story, but like it's just fun. To be honest, it's just really fun. There's some amazing levels like Nolans, Nolans in Boston and Barcelona. Like the multiplayer was amazing. You had all the creative modes. Because Underground One, what they would do with Underground Series, they took out a lot of the cheats, but they replaced them with a bunch of creative modes that you could create. This back in sports games like really good and feature filled with shit. So you could create skater, you could create your park, you could create graffiti, you could create goals and like how you play those goals. That got taken out of American Wasteland, sadly. But you could create so much stuff and tricks too. And like it like the whole point of those games, like, oh, you is your story. You make what you want to make, right? And it kind of was like that. It's just really wacky. I have a character I made. It's like my avatar you see on there. It's based off the character I always made, which is like a robot guy, with like a hoodie on and stuff and hat. And just like this, it's just if you watch. Okay, I'm gonna plug my video in. 'Cause I'm gonna keep plugging them shits in.
Oh my god!
But if you go watch those 3 videos, you're gonna see the progression and what changed and why it was so great. And Doug Pro just makes it better. By the way, they brought back maps from the older games, the ones that worked with the style. Because some of them don't work with the what they did in the future games because they just weren't made for that trick off stuff. But the levels they brought back, all besides Philly, are premium levels. Like Downhill Jam has issues too, but like it's Downhill Jam. It's a classic. School One, that's a classic. Canada is like top 3 levels in the series. That's in that game. The airport's there. That's in that game. That's from Pro Skater 3. And Los Angeles is there. That's also from Pro Skater 3. Like they all brought them back. There's no Pro Skater 4 that was brought back, but they just they went in with that game. It had so many levels. So many levels. It had a story mode. It had a classic mode. You got the best of both worlds. So you had the classic mode like the older games. You got the story mode. Like the newer games, it was pretty short. It has Shrek in it. Like it has Shrek.
And that's why it's the best, is because it has Shrek in it.
Now, here's the thing though. Pro Skater 2 has Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is better, but he's not in the better engine, sadly. There's also the Call of Duty Soldier. It was some PC game on the PC version. I forgot what it was called. It was some guy in there that was on the PC version. I thought the hand was from Adam's Family, but it's not. It's just some regular hand. You could play as a ripped off hand.
It's the
Right.
Neversoft like thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah, you can play as a ripped off hand, and it walks around. It's like a tech deck, which is pretty big back in the day. And you can go to hell in that game and dance to the devil.
yo, you can go to hell. That's fucked up, dude.
You can go to hell. It's literally this weird ass level where you go like to space and you go to a mine temple.
You see like Satan's like ass whooping as he makes you the Spyro steamer.
No, not that.
$5.
No,
$5 shit long.
it's also in like what if Doug Pro just like I know it's a mod and that you tell they don't count that in the original game, but it is like one of the best mods for any fan community. And we're like so lucky we had that mod for so long, especially during in the trenches of like the bad Activision days where we had Robomoto take over and then Pro Skater 5 came out, but now they're on I don't know the futures. It's like Vicarious Visions is gone, but like they were on track with Pro Skater 1 plus 2. But that mod has almost every level from like the original, like from American Waste, from Pro Skater 1 to American Wasteland. It's adding some of the Disney Extreme Skate Adventure levels, which that game is just like a simplified Pro Skater 4 with Disney characters, like Toy Story,
Kino or
Tarzan,
shit. Kino.
Lion. Yeah, it's great. And they had like Andy's Room. They're bringing that level. They had some weird state. They had the Elephant Graveyard, Pride Rock, was a level.
And they
It
just
had
had
like
this basic ass city with a McDonald's in it. It was the
they're
funniest
called
shit.
Hollywood. It was called Hollywood. The product placement in that game was crazy. A lot of these games they're pretty crazy because like the menus are like I remember the phone menus in the games Underground were like Nokia phones, and it's like looking back at it, it's like so nostalgic because it's like oh shit, I remember uh, those
Yeah,
things.
I mean mods like Thug Pro and like there's Sonic World, which combines a bunch of Sonic levels and all the characters, like stuff that combines a bunch of games together and like celebrates that kind of shit.
And
That's
then
just really
the
good
best thing
stuff.
about it too is they're still adding content. There are mods on top of the mods, or you can mod in characters and mod in other levels. Like people have ported in shit like Delfino Plaza. Now not all of it works, but it's still cool. Like Speed Highway, Delfino Plaza, and it has online. Like you don't what other communities doing shit like that for their game. Like you can't name that many that are lucky to have something like that, and it's all free and people can come and play. We played it on stream a couple of times. There's also Underground 2 Remix. That's another thing. Underground 2 would have like 4 extra stages. Uh,
Mm.
I wish that game was like uh, the base game because that fixed a lot of the problem that I have with the story mode because it adds like 4 more levels and you get to pick where you want to go and stuff. It's really cool. But yeah, Underground, I had to go with Underground 2 because it's just the memories. Because we played multiplayer on that in American Wasteland way more
Yeah.
than we did.
I mean, I can actually agree with you. Underground 2 is the one that I grew up with. So, I mean, I played like Pro Skater 3 and 4 and stuff, but like Underground 2 is the one I grew up the most with, and I would definitely say it's the best one. Like if I'm going to go back to a Tony Hawk game, it's going to be Underground 2.
You should play American Wasteland as well and Underground
I
1.
did not care for American Wasteland, but that's just me. Tony Hawk's not really my style anyways, but when I do play it, it's Underground 2. But yeah,
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is.
yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
One of the best
Yeah,
games
yeah.
ever. All right, Mitchell, what's your number? This is number 2, right? Yeah, what's your
No,
number
this should
2?
be so easy.
Oh my
This should
god,
be so
it's
easy.
between two. It's
This should be
between
so
two.
easy. You should know what my number
Fuck.
one is. You should know what my
Troll
number
Die?
two
Is
is.
it Troll Die?
Fuck. Number 2
Troll Die.
is
GoldenEye 007.
Fallout New Vegas.
No, this is so easy. Yes.
Fallout New Vegas. Oh, let's
You got
go.
one. You got one.
I
Oh
got
my
one.
God.
Let's
Holy
go.
shit.
I'm so good
Holy
at this.
shit. He
Oh,
got one of the easiest ones on the fucking list.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, yeah, it's Fallout New Vegas. I'm not gonna say, the usual shit. I'm pretty sure most people already fucking know. All right, the main talking points around Fallout New Vegas, but
You can go
Recently-
watch the video essays.
12-hour video essays. But I fucking recent years, I'm trying to be less toxic. Okay, I'm trying to
Okay,
put the toxic
trying to be
away.
less toxic. Do you want to go back to the conversation right before we started this
Did I start
podcast?
it?
Don't do it. Don't
we can
you
do that
start.
right now.
Don't-
We can do that. You see,
don't-
this is what happens.
don't
I
do
try
it.
to be a better person and people test me. That's the problem.
That's no one. That's
People
no one.
wanna
Get on
test
no
me.
one. Get on no
People
one.
want to test me, and that's the issue. Okay.
That's
I'm
no
All
one.
trying
right.
to be a better
Anyways,
person.
trying to be a better person. Fallout New Vegas.
Did I invoke it? Did I invoke it? No. Okay, but all
Don't
right.
do it. Don't do it.
I keep getting tested. Lord, help me, Jesus. Jesus, Lord, help me. I'm trying my fucking hardest. Okay. I'm trying to be usually I would have just gone, and said it's the best game in the series, Fallout 3 and 4 fucking
It
dog
is.
shit. But
They're not all shit.
Um,
It is.
fucking but okay, 4 is dog shit, Jay. Don't even try.
Oh, yeah, I agree 4, but 3 is Liberty
Okay,
Prime.
you dick ride 3, you haven't even played it. But whatever, it's fine. Okay, so fucking I'm trying to throw that toxicity away. Okay. I'll say Fallout 3 has got its merits. Okay. It did a pretty decent job at moving the series to 3D, away from the isometric style. It did help with a lot of the newer style. And New Vegas is built off of 3 as a base, so it's definitely got that going for it. But I played the classic games recently, and it's just it's just made me realize that I have a preference for a certain type of open world game, and it's like a lot of times nowadays people have this idea that all open world games should be the same. Like there's just one good way to do an open world game, and I think that there's different ways and different schools of thoughts that that there's different ways you can do open world games, and New Vegas has got a different ideology behind it to where it's way more thought out. It's integrated into the plot very specifically. Like the whole game is revolving around like the political dynamics of who's gonna get Hoover Dam, and there's a lot of shit geographically that the game was built around with its open world. And a lot of people complain about that. It's not their thing. 3 is more some people's type of preference where it's a really densely packed map. There's lots of things for you to do. Like any direction you look, you can go and find a dungeon and you can clear it out. And there's, Bethesda's decent at doing dungeons, I guess. But fucking New Vegas is way more about going to a town, getting a quest, and figuring out how that plays into the greater plot. And I generally just prefer those types of games. So, yeah, that's my spiel. That's my
All right.
speech.
Yeah.
Okay.
Proud of myself for getting that one right. Let's go.
Yeah,
I
the
got the
easiest
one.
That was
one.
I
easy.
got the one.
That was
Look,
so
okay.
easy. You had
Easy.
like
Alright.
2 options.
All right, look. So for this number 2, I gotta set the scene because I'm gonna get shit for this, and I already know I am. All right, imagine you're little baby, right? You're snotting, you're shitting, right? You're doing your
I don't
thing.
want to
You're
imagine
doing,
being
you're
baby
doing,
you.
you're doing
That's
what
fucking
you're doing
weird.
what babies do. All right. You're playing your baby's first
What would
Pokemon
Tommy do?
game, and this baby's first Pokemon game, right? It's giving you like the idea of going out on a grand quest with your partner Pokemon, like going out exploring the world. But of course, around
Not
our
stupid,
age,
so like,
well,
I
hold
don't
on.
think
Of
that.
course, around our age, the games were more linear and they took you on a specific area, so you didn't really get to explore and do what you wanted to do
Is this
and kind
fucking
of
Arceus?
no stop and like, have fun with this stuff.
It's
However, recently, Game Freak released Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I'm okay. Look, it's not better than Pokemon Soul Silver. Soul Silver's been my number 2 for as long as I can remember. But the reason it is number 2 is because it does what I have wanted Pokemon to do for so long. It's like a semi-open world, kind of like Monster Hunter style, where it's different areas. But it's like a semi-open world where you just get to explore, catch Pokemon. It's got fast battles, and it's just extremely fun. I mean, like,
Look, listen.
okay,
I fucking no, you know me. Okay, you know who I am.
Yeah.
Right? You know who I am.
yeah. No, you're Mitchell. I got you.
Yeah, I'm Mitchell. Okay. And
Okay.
before, a couple years ago, I would have, I would have stomped your shit in for this opinion. But it's coup d'etat. It's all good. I appreciate, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Arceus is your number 2. Okay.
It's just like I said, it's not the best Pokemon game, but it's what it does because it's different. Like every other Pokemon game is what it is, and they're still good. Like out of all of us here, I like Pokemon the most. Mitchell doesn't really like Pokemon that much.
I don't think that that's true. Just because I complain doesn't mean I don't.
No,
like
I'm not saying you don't like it. It's just out of all of us, I definitely play the most Pokemon stuff and enjoy
Yeah, you play
the series the
Pokemon
most.
stuff. I do have a
And
connection to Pokemon.
To me, Arceus just does what I've wanted to. Like if I go back to a game, like to a Pokemon game, it's the standard fare, going along the same journey. But with Arceus, I feel like there's just so much openness to it because of how the game is. I can catch the Pokemon how I want. You don't have to go into battles. You just kind of pull out the Pokeball and you toss it. Even the actual battles, like trainer battles, are very fast. They're very fluid. The game doesn't look the best. I'll be honest, it doesn't. But I really
It
don't
looks
care.
like dog shit.
It looks like dog shit, but it's just so fun that I really don't care. I don't know.
It is an improvement. It is a step in the right direction.
It takes a lot, and I'm really hoping if Scarlet and Violet are like the progression of this system, and it's like it becomes really good. This is gonna become dated when Scarlet and Violet come out. But if it does like what Arceus did, but just improves upon it, I mean, fuck, dude, that's probably gonna end up being my favorite game. But like, just I don't know, man. Arceus, I really love it. I also love the aesthetic. I love the older kind of period that it goes for and everything. I think that's really cool too. So I don't know. Arceus isn't the best Pokemon game, but it's my favorite, and it's definitely a recency thing. But it does what I've wanted Pokemon to do for so long since I was a kid, and I can never get over that.
You know,
So,
I've not been the biggest fan of the recent Pokemon games. I was expecting to go into Arceus and curb stomp it to the fucking ground, but it was a step in the right direction. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No,
I mean, I think that if they keep-
especially when you get to like the Arceus battle at the end and the fucking the secret fight that has like 8 Pokemon. That shit was crazy. Okay, look, I'm not gonna say who it is because this game still isn't like a year old yet. But
It's the most obvious thing in the world.
It's the most obvious thing in the world, but I'm still not gonna say it. But like, there's a battle at the end where it's like you have to fight like 8 Pokemon in a row without healing, and it's fucking insane. That battle, that was the craziest battle I've ever done in Pokemon. I loved it so much. Oh my god.
Pokemon up to that point, I think the mainline games just haven't. I like X and Y. I've gone to realize I like X and Y.
I don't, but
damn, it is the out of like the first 5, it is the least least good one. I guess
first 6 because it's
first
6 gen.
first 6. Like I don't know. Maybe it's because of Sword and Shield and freaking Sun and Moon, where I'm just like, you know what, this was a good game, and maybe it's copium, but it is what it is. But
got a little bit too much dip on your chip there, but keep going.
Arceus, was a step in the right direction for something different that's actually different and not like stupid, like Sun and Moon did. And I do like the direction they're going in. I hope they add some of those features into the new game, like the way the world was and stuff.
Hopefully, they could continue to improve.
I at this point, I've accepted the graphics just aren't going to look good. I've accepted that. It's been like 3 games. They can't Game Freak is just, they can't make this look good. I don't think it's a Switch. I think it's just them.
I will debate. I'll debate. I don't like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but I do like the style of the game. I'll debate that one.
I don't care for it.
I don't like it. I played. That was another one that I played. If my sister wants that game, I'll probably give it to her. But actually, I will give it to her because I'm not playing it. I played it for like a minute. And I'm like, this is just like babies.
It's pretty boring.
It's like I don't know, man. I've always they've always tried to like make these new ways to teach players how to play Pokemon, but I don't know, man. I remember when I was 5 years old, and it was not that hard. All right, it was not that hard to understand stuff. It's already simple. What you gonna do? Oh, there's a water Pokemon. Use a fire Pokemon. There's a freaking no, I'm sorry. There's a fire Pokemon. Use a water Pokemon. There's a grass Pokemon.
Grass.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was stuff that was simple. The hardest part was navigation, in my opinion, at certain times in the original, like Leaf Green. But other than that, like, the actual combat was already simple, and just to make it more simple, there's a thing where you make stuff more simple and it just becomes boring, and that's the issue. It's not like I don't think it's that we've grown older. I think it's just that they have just become they think we're dumber, or they think kids are dumber when they're not. That's the thing.
I mean, the thing
we
is,
could have
like,
a whole podcast about it.
we're eventually gonna do a Pokemon episode. But I will say here, Mitchell was talking about Mountain Blade with modding. If we counted like altering a game, you could put any Pokemon game here because randomizing a Pokemon game is the most.
That doesn't count to the extent.
No, it doesn't. But I'm just saying, like, if we were talking about modifying a game, like, you could literally put any Pokemon game in this slot because, like, ROM hacks, where it makes games harder and changes up what's in it. You have randomizers. Like, just randomizing a Pokemon game changes the experience so much and makes it so fun. But if we were just going off a base game, I would still say Arceus. Soul Silver could go there too. They're pretty close for me. I just think Arceus, the open world experience, is super fun, and it's just great. Yeah. That brings us, though, to the number 1 game. And I have a feeling Jay and my number 1 might be the same. I don't know. We'll see. But Brian, what's your number 1?
Half-Life 1.
I was thinking Half-Life 2.
No, so
close.
I'll go into that.
Yeah,
I played Half-Life 2 first, but I like Half-Life 1 more. I could compare them really quick and basically say, I love Half-Life 2, but it is kind of hand-holdy to the point where replaying it as much as I have is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Half-Life 1, to put it blunt, I won't say bluntly, like simply, what makes Half-Life 1 is the storytelling. And I would say, like, sort of the level design based around the storytelling. It's not really like. So, Half-Life 1 is a game that revolutionized game storytelling. A lot of the shit you see, like, it was the first game to have, like, real-time events happen without cutscenes and shit. Like, before your eyes in a first-person shooter. And it's really charming for that. It has a lot of neat storytelling shit that even like games today don't fucking do. It has a certain atmosphere that's very Half-Life 1 exclusive as well. Its fucking gunplay is really amazing. I think like fucking it is like my standard for fucking gunplay in an FPS. I love all the engine shit like Gold Source and all that shit. Um, just like all the intricacies of it. It's a very interesting game with how like enemy AI is programmed. Like for example, the Hound Eyes are these like dog like things that shoot shockwaves at you, and they act like dogs in that. Um, they look for other Hound Eyes when they're alone, so they can do like a pack, and then they gang up on you and shit like a wolf pack kind of thing, and it's really fucking cool. Like there's so much intricacies to like so many intricacies to like the enemy AI, the fucking level design, how the story's presented is just really fucking cool. And like I guess I could say it's sort of a nostalgic pick too. When I fucking played Half-Life 1, I fucking played the living shit out of it as a kid. Like I fucking got hit by a car when I was like 11. And Half-Life 1 was like the first game I fucking played through that. And like the entire time I was in like a neck brace and shit, I played it. And I got really into Half-Life 1 modding and shit through that. Like fucking making shit in Gold Source. I sucked ass at that. But like fucking opened a lot of layers to like game design to me and shit. Like how the design levels and shit. That was like my introduction to that. Um it's just really fucking nostalgic. Is another thing. That's kind of the theme with my top three. Is just fucking the nostalgic, and Half-Life 1 is up there.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that Half-Life 1 is a perfect game. I cannot think of any flaws besides Zen. And like even then, the rest of the game is so perfect. I do not give a shit. Like I do not give a shit about the final levels being like kind of booty. Um, Again, I just think it's a perfect game. Like basically it. Half-Life 1 was perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played those games, so I can't really comment. But I know you
They're
love
peak
Half-Life.
fiction.
So.
The peak FPS. FPS in its peak form.
Right. Of course.
Right?
All right, Jay. Okay, so Jay, don't say your number one. Is your number one? Is it what I think it is?
What do you think it is?
On a
It's like-
glass.
Of course.
It is a certain game that we both
two
love
games.
very much.
It's two games, and you bet your ass I'm about to fucking take the reins of talking about both of them.
Okay, so hold on, let's save that to last because if ours are the same, we're just gonna end with that. Because I think Brian's.
Well, it's
I think,
two. It's two of
well,
them. So,
yeah.
My number 7 was
Yeah, that was your number. So yeah, we'll talk about that. So we'll go to Mitchell and then we'll come back to it and we'll kind of we'll all talk about that to end it. But
Yeah, Mitchell will sit here and twiddle his thumbs in his
exactly.
asshole.
Well, Mitchell's played this game. He could talk
Mitchell's
about
beating
it.
it. Mitchell's beating them.
Mitchell will talk
I'm
about
not
it.
gonna say anything about it.
All right, Mitchell, what's your number one?
Guess.
I fucking
Demon
know.
Souls.
Noah.
It's either Dark Souls
Demon
or Demon
Souls.
Souls. I don't know which one you like more.
Demon Souls. It's Demon
Is
Souls.
it Demon Souls?
Demon Souls.
Look, I can now actually throw my hat in this. I would not agree that Demon Souls is better than Dark Souls.
Oh shit!
Here we go.
I would.
Already
Let's
starting.
go.
He's already starting.
Here we
He's
go.
I
already
would.
starting.
Look,
Yeah, and you
is
see,
it,
you know,
so it
you-
is Demon Souls?
I would maybe,
So hold
I
on.
would maybe like, verbally strangle you to death. You know, a couple of years ago, might have
wait.
been what I would have done, but
So-
it's not. because
It is
go
Demon
ahead.
Souls,
Say what
right?
you're
Is your
gonna
number
say.
one?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
You
just
said I'm gonna
tell me,
stop
tell me,
being a
tell me
hater.
why Demon Souls is your number one. I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out. Go for
I've
it.
been on that path for a minute, but
Okay.
I understand how people, would not vibe with Demon Souls the most in the Soul series, based off the game's reputation or if they had played one of the previous games prior. It's definitely not the hardest. Okay, and a lot of people go into Souls games thinking like the difficulty is the point, and really, it's not. It's a challenging experience, and that's part of the point, but it's really not like the main thing about them. Demon Souls is my favorite Souls game because of the aesthetics, and generally, I like its game design philosophy. I like how open it is at the start. I like how it's built to be more it's built more to be like an adventure type of like an adventure book, really, where like you've got to figure out different solutions to different problems. And that's a lot of how the levels are built. Like the levels are pretty open and you don't really get much like you don't it's not a bonfire system. You have an archstone at the start and then you usually will unlock a shortcut eventually, and that's how the levels are typically designed. And each enemy for each world typically has something they're weak to, like the skeletons in 4-1, 4-2 are weak to blunt weapons, and the miners in 2-1 and 2-2 are weak to piercing weapons. And in each of these levels, they'll give you like a piercing weapon to help you like fight um different enemies, or they give you a magic weapon in 4-1, help you fight the miners in 2-1, all that type of shit. And I generally like that design approach more than what the Souls games kind of later became, which is really like boss fight fucking simulators, basically. They really just kind of became like the levels started to matter less and less, and they started to more focus on bosses, and that was the main attraction. And I can understand how for most people that's gonna be like your main attraction is the action aspect of these games, especially if you're coming at it from the position of like I'm looking for difficulty or I'm looking for a challenge and all of that type of stuff. Demon Souls is not going to have as much for you as later games are going to have, like Dark Souls 3, which has the most polished combat out of the Souls games, um, outside of Bloodborne, which I think is better overall in terms of gameplay. But fucking, yeah, that's why I like Demon Souls the most.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why Demon Souls would be people's favorites, especially if that was like you played it back then. I mean, I played the remake, so this could be different because, of course, some things are different. But it's
The
like,
remake changes a lot about the aesthetics.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
for a lot of people, that's not a big issue. A lot of people didn't play the original Demon Souls, which is fine. PS3 exclusive, whatever. Fucking. And they don't see as big of an issue with some of the design changes and all that stuff. But I think generally the original has a much better atmosphere and aesthetic,
Yeah,
and I prefer it.
yeah. Like to
Yeah,
me,
the remake has a lot of decisions that make the game look like Diablo.
Yes, Flame Lurker looks like
designs,
Diablo. His boss arena looks like a Diablo boss arena.
yeah,
Okay.
it's sick as fuck.
Like-
It
Though.
looks
like-
like hell. It does not look sick as fuck. It looks dumb as fuck.
it looks pretty
I
dumb.
like it.
It looks
I
like a
like it.
Blizzard.
Pretty
It looks like Blizzard.
A big
Blizzard.
example is also like the man eaters. Like the man eaters in the remake look fucking terrible, in terms of design. Actually, this goes for a lot of bosses. They look fucking bad. Like
They didn't necessarily improve. A
what's
lot of
the
them
intro
look
boss?
more
What's the intro boss's name?
Vanguard. Vanguard.
Vanguard. Why did they give
long-
Vanguard a bunch of nipples with nipples?
Yeah, they
piercings?
gave him long hanging nipples. That's
It's
what
fucking
that is.
bizarre.
It's and people want to like people will come like set like tell you when you complain about the Vanguard, like, oh fucking they just reused an asset, but it looks more unique, and a lot of the bosses look way more unique in the original than they did. Even if it's asset reuse, I don't give a fuck if it's asset reuse. It looks more
Yeah.
unique. It
Mhm.
gives it its own style. I don't care.
The
It looks-
original has this like dreamlike feel that remake doesn't have at all.
yeah, and the remake's fine. I'm not like I don't hate it. but it's like I just prefer the aesthetics and atmosphere of the original. That's one of the things I care about the most about in these games, and I think that Demon Souls, the original, has like some of the best in the franchise.
I don't know. I think what gets me about Demon Souls and puts it like slightly below the others, at least from what I've played so far, right, is for one, I hate the grass system. I think that's the most dated thing.
You're gonna
And
hate
Well, the
Bloodborne.
grass
When-
is you're gonna hate
when
Bloodborne.
when
the grass
when
the
when
grass
when
system is not
Estus-
the most fleshed out.
when Estus exists now, it's like grass is so dumb because you have to grind it up, and it's just the multiple different types. I'm just not
I
the
don't-
biggest fan of that.
Well,
I
you
don't
don't have
mind
to grind
that.
it that much if you're good.
Yeah.
But, you know, like,
Yeah. But
I
it's
don't
just,
really mind grass that much.
I
It's
think-
not the greatest system in the world. I agree that the Dark Souls system is an improvement upon that, but
Yeah.
it's not like gonna lower the game like by a significant degree for me.
I think the biggest
Probably
thing for me
because
though,
I would always, I kind of grinded grass to the max because I'm a fucking fiend and I don't.
oh yeah,
mind
I
grinding
did
that
too.
much.
Doesn't mean it's a great
Well, I don't
system.
mind grinding it, because I don't know, it's never bothered me.
Yeah, it was never an issue
yeah.
for me.
Grass is pretty plentiful, to be honest. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's
But-
not like
but-
Bloodborne where like if you fucking
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne is worse with it.
Yeah.
Bloodborne will stomp your balls. Okay.
It
for
will
the
kill you.
Bloodborne system.
But no,
You even dare die to something in Bloodborne? Go grind Blood Vitals again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's no.
that's the issue with the game. I'll be real. It kind of like
Yeah, it's. I don't know why they improved upon it and then they went back. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's one of
Demon
the odder
Souls is
decisions of
better at
Bloodborne.
it. It's weird. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, like to
But-
me with Demon Souls, like other than World 5, I think the bosses in Demon Souls just there aren't a lot of standouts. They're either like pretty cool looking,
Well,
but then it's like
that's the
gimmicky
thing.
as shit, and it's like
well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Is that most people are going into these games and they're expecting these high octane anime boss fights, like in Dark Souls 3, especially where like every boss has a second phase and all this stuff, and that's cool. That's fine. I understand. I get that that's what most people are coming for. They're coming
Mhm.
for a boss fight that's like way more engaging, but I do enjoy the slower paced, way more a boss fight that's but meant. Boss fights are not like the main attraction in like Demon Souls, and it's way more meant to be like kind of a what is this boss's like thing, and you
Can we-
have to figure that out.
can,
I like
can-
that a
can we
lot.
can we talk about the fucking light and dark system and how much that fucking blows?
World tendency.
Yeah, how much that blows as a system
I
because they
think that's
don't
awesome.
they don't
Actually.
explain it to you at
They actually do
all.
explain it. They do explain it actually.
They do.
At the bottom of the
It's
fucking
but
Nexus.
it's just not clear, like because like it's
And
like
that's
yeah
the
you have this
point.
tendency, but also the fact that
Yeah,
you can't play the
it's
game at
supposed to
full
be
health.
weird.
I
Like,
think it.
That
I
doesn't
get
mean
like
it's good
get,
just because it's supposed to
I
be
get
weird.
no. I'm not saying they should have kept it in. Okay, I'm not saying they should have kept it in. Well, they should have kept it in the remake. That's for fucking sure. Yeah, I'm glad
Yeah,
they
because
did.
it's a
but
remake.
fucking,
You have to remake it.
yeah.
but fucking, I can understand what I do understand the reasons why they didn't bring it in the later games. But I think it's fine. A lot of things in Demon Souls were experimental, and they worked, for better or for worse. But overall, like it introduced like that experimentality, like gave us the series in general.
Yeah,
That's
I mean
why
it's
feel
still a
like
good
lot.
game.
My
It
view on
just-
the
yeah.
world tendencies is that like it's fucking weird, right? And yeah,
And
it's
nothing-
criminal.
Yeah.
But it's like I like it because it adds to like the fucking choose your own event. Because like
Yeah.
a part of this game, a part of these games is like figuring out shit through people saying. So
Yeah,
like,
and
kinda
and
like it's like an RPG, like a fucking D&D campaign where you build
Yeah.
the world and you figure out the world by like fucking people.
Hmm.
and in general, it's not really going to affect a playthrough all that much. Like
Yeah.
unless you're like looking up weapons you want to get or whatever for your first playthrough, like it's really not going to be
Yeah.
the end all be all for your like fucking gameplay experience. Like most people are not going to die in a world human enough to fucking like warrant that to fucking like really impact your experience. To be real with you, it's like not the most like I can agree that it's like definitely in a system that's not like fully fleshed out or that's like very unnecessarily well thought out per se, but at the same time I don't think it like affects your experience all too much, like unless you're really just like super fucking
I don't.
super unless you just want to have everything in the first playthrough, which is
I
just
just
that's not how
don't.
these games are built for the
I
first
just don't
playthrough.
like that. Like you can't play at full health, and if you want the most health, you have to use a ring slot for the ring that gives you
You
more
can't
health in
play
your
at full
phantom
health.
form. Yeah, and
Yeah,
You
just
can play at
not
full
it's called
health.
die,
being
and just
human.
not die,
You can play at full health. Yeah, don't
Yeah, it's
die.
called
not
being
die.
human.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But
Like,
But
I,
they give
I
you a
like
ring
that.
to they give you a ring to ameliorate
So
that
yeah,
pretty
but you
easily.
have
Yeah.
to use a ring slot the entire
The
game for that, and
ring,
that's
the
kind of
ring gives
frustrating.
you a
Because
lot.
Do you
Demon
need
Souls,
to switch out
but no,
rings that often?
Demon Souls was the time when they only had 2 ring slots. Like Dark Souls and Demon Souls both had 2 ring slots
And
compared
what
to
is wrong with
later.
2 ring slots? Like I get that you
Yeah.
want to switch out
There's
rings,
so
but
many
like rings are
cool
not vital.
rings.
There's so many cool rings, and if you use most of those rings, you're gonna realize most of them are ass. I haven't gotten a chance to tell you this, Noah, but the Tiny Beings ring, it's a terrible fucking ring. It's awful.
Look,
You should not be using it. It's an
look.
awful ring. Like it gives you like 20 life points. That's ass. There's like plenty of better rings for that. Like you don't need like 15 ring slots. It's not that important.
But it sucks
An
because the
extra having
experimentation I
one
feel in
ring
that.
slot having one ring slot available for you to switch out and having one relegated to the Kling's ring is not the end of the world. You're
Mhm.
rarely going to need like 50. And if you are like using a lot of those other rings for your build or whatever, you're likely on your second playthrough and know what to do for most
Yeah.
of these worlds. So it's not
But
going to be as
I
big
think
of an
it's
issue.
like my last kind of gripe. Like I said, I still think Demon Souls is amazing, but my last gripe is after playing Dark Souls 2 and 3, I'm like, I just go back and I keep thinking how much I hate the upgrading system because it's like you kind of have to figure it out on your own how it works. They don't really tell you, hey, you have to get a weapon all the way to plus 10, which getting materials in the Demon Souls, at least remake, is pretty easy, but you still have to get it to plus 10. Then you have to go to the one guy and give him the Flame Lurker Soul. Then you can upgrade to a boss
Okay,
weapon.
well, now we're going to have to break this down a few levels, no, because your interaction with these has been very unique to say the least. But first of all, you talk to that dude and he will tell you that you need to give him a red hot demon soul
Look, I have
in
the
order
memory
to
of a goldfish. What
yeah,
are you
you need to
expecting
talk to
from
these
me?
NPCs, Noah. You smash through the NPC
I
dialogue
do not. I read it.
and you hardly engage with it. I have seen you.
I
Okay, I was
read
watching
it.
those
I don't know what
streams.
you're talking
I
about.
saw you mash through that
I don't know what you're talking
dialogue.
about. I read through
Okay,
it. I read
yeah,
it.
yeah, I saw.
I read it.
You can't
I read
hide
it.
from me, Noah. You
I
can't
read
hide
it.
from me.
I read it.
Now, I will say that Demon Souls' upgrade system is not very good. It's if you had to interact with the original's upgrade system, you would know the struggle that is that upgrade system.
Yeah, because
Because
don't you have a limited inventory in the original?
well, um, yeah, you have to put stuff away, which isn't. It's not too big of an issue if you remember to do it. So that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that if you're going to upgrade like magic stones, like a magic weapon, for example, so the max item is rare as shit, and it's only farmable from one place, and it's that Grim Reaper dude. You remember that guy?
Oh,
It's from
fuck
him,
him.
and it's rare, as fuck, and that's for a lot
That
of items.
sucks.
And also, like the higher tier of upgrade items for the different paths of upgrade levels, like in the original games, you know those lizards,
Yeah.
they don't come back. They have a limited number of times they will respawn. So if you
That
miss them 2
blows.
times, they're gone forever, and
That
you can't get
sucks.
those upgrade items
Yeah.
that run. So
But
yeah, that's definitely like it's a struggle.
I
It's
could
a struggle.
I could see why it's your favorite. I think it has just a few immunity issues, and it's the first game compared to later games and how they fix things. We'll get into that in a separate episode because I know Mitch
I'll
really wants
say
to talk about it.
what I'll say is that I think that the way that these games can progress and the way that they can upgrade, so to speak, is not necessarily like a vertical line. Okay, there's
Mhm.
different ways they could have taken it, and I think they took it more towards the action route than the RPG route. And I may have preferred them to lead more towards an RPG style route than what they did. That's kind of why Demon's Souls stands at the top for me. So
All right.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So for this number one, I wanted to save it to last because this is Brian's number 7, right? And then
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is Jay's number 1 because I'm assuming.
There's two.
So Jay, what is the one that isn't what I'm thinking? What's the other one?
Sonic Adventure 1.
Oh, so they're both there, really? Oh well.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Sonic Adventure 2, right?
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure
I'm a
2,
cheat.
baby.
I'm a cheat. I'm a cheat. I don't give a
Yeah,
fudge.
fucking Jay's a
That's
cheater, dude.
serious.
Jay's a cheater.
They've always been the top, and I can't really pick between the one and the other because one does something that the other doesn't. Um, and I gotta say this. I was talking about one. We can both talk about Adventure 2. I'll talk about Adventure 1. Like this game is really weird with people. Where like people liked it, now and people started to hate it, and now people like it. And now like you got these people who are just not playing both adventure games. Now they're saying like, oh, Adventure 1's better than Adventure 2. And it's like I thought people were saying Adventure 2. Point is, I don't know, man. It's just I feel as though no one. I know it's all opinions, man, but I feel like no one really talks about this game in the right way. And I kind of get tired of like the whole thing where people were like, this is it was one was good because it was like the classic games. Like, no, it's not. Like, it's so different from it, and that's a good thing because when everything went to 3D, it had to be different. Mario was different. Mario 64. That's not the same. That's not Mario 3. That's not Mario World gameplay. That's not the same thing. And when they did do that, with 3D Land and 3D World, it's like lackluster compared to the 3D Mario games, right? And that's kind of how I feel here. They had to change. They had to do something different. And I think they did it right. Spin Dash is broken. It's a completely different game. Spin Dash is broken, but it's like fun to use. Some people are going to say like, oh, but there's the collision issues here and there. It's like, so you guys know the stuff where we went up the walls, right? In the cave area.
Yeah.
So I didn't really notice this was a collision error, but like apparently it is, and people start pointing that little stuff out, and it's like so minuscule, like of like stuff that I didn't even know until someone pointed it out to me, and even then it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I can't run upside down in this fucking cave that like you're in for like 2 seconds to go to a level. Like it's I don't know. People when I see people like get on the game and get on certain things like that, I just feel like it's just a bunch of nitpicking at a certain point. And there's some actual problem with the game, like certain I think characters. Sonic shouldn't have been the only one on a lot of the levels. People try to say that's the best reason. That's the best, good reason for the game being like better. I think he shouldn't have had. He shouldn't be the only one that had 10 levels. Like at least Knuckles or Tails, and Tails should have had like levels like Speed High all the time, which he doesn't. And Big should have been optional, but I like Big's thing. Gamma's levels are also too short for the most part. Like it's still some issues there, but like what is there is really good. And I actually like the big levels, and people can come fight me on that. I don't give a fudge. Uh, it's in the story was like you never had up to that point. You never had a platformer that really did that. It was again, I said it. It was always the happy-go-lucky or kind of simple story, but they tried to do something different, and it wasn't perfect. No, there was some plot holes and some issues, but the characters is what people liked, and the overall story is what people got people hooked to that game and wanted to play. Like when we went on the playground as kids, and that was between Sonic and then these other franchises compared to the other ones that we had conversations about what would happen in the next game because it would be like because it's like it was like watching like Dragon Ball or something. Like you like the story mattered, so you would talk about that stuff. People before were like, oh, the story doesn't matter, but it mattered to us a lot, and people kept wanting to see the next game because of that. You didn't really talk about other franchises like that, except for the franchise that did that, and it led to like Jack doing his thing and Ratchet doing his thing and Sly Cooper doing his thing. But Sonic Adventure was the first one to do that, and Sonic Adventure was one of the first games to have full on cutscenes with the Malcolm and that. Well, that's not perfect either, but at the end of the day, Metal Gear Solid is like the most highly regarded game for being like a movie. But if you go look at that game, they have no facial features. They have nothing. Like the cinematography is good, but they have no facial features. All they do is they're just moving the characters around. There's no zooming on the face or anything because there's nothing on their face, right?
Yeah.
And Sonic Adventure had stuff on their face. They had the characters animated and moving, but I don't know, man. I feel as though like people just give the game a hard time when they do, and then it's insane for both games in my opinion. I do feel like people just kind of give it a hard time because of fucking because of Sonic or some other shit. It's just it's I still think it's just some of the greatest games of all time. And like I will go more detailed, but you're gonna have to. I'm gonna plug my channel again because the
Jesus
video's coming
Christ.
this year. You're gonna have to go on the channel to
Jesus.
watch that. But that was like my first nostalgic wise. It was just that was like my first time I really like took gaming seriously. Because before I would play games, I just wouldn't. It'd be like like kids play games, play toys. Doesn't mean they're gonna stick with them all their life. But that was the first time when I was like really into it, and I just wanted the next game that was gonna come out, and I was really hyped around it. I got Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 at the same time on Christmas, and that was when I like really got in the game. If it weren't for those games, I probably wouldn't be on this podcast. Probably wouldn't be playing games like that because I just wouldn't care. Like
Yeah.
some people say it was Metal Gear Solid, some people say it was this or that, but it was me. It was Sonic, and people are gonna laugh at that in the comments. Maybe think it's a joke. I don't really care because that was just my, that was my fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us are going to disagree here that Adventure 2 is on our list because and Adventure 1 for Jay. It's just because of the fact that we grew up with these games. They came out when we were really young and we just grew up with them. But I'm not afraid to say that this game is just really good in general. I'm not going to go as
Yeah.
far for Adventure 1. I won't defend Adventure 1 like Jay does. I think the second half of Adventure 1 is just not nowhere near as good as the first half. But with Adventure 2, I mean, the story, like I said, it just like Adventure 1, it's got problems. But the gameplay, the more I play Adventure 2, I've got like hundreds of hours at this point in this game, and it just, I have fun with it every time. I never get tired of it. I started speedrunning it, and I keep learning new things about the game, and it just gets so fun. The Chow Garden is still one of the most fun modes ever
I forgot to mention that
created.
too in the
Well, Chow
SA1,
Garden Adventure 1's not as good as Adventure 2's. It's just, it feels slower, but Adventure
but it's
2's,
still there. Like it
yeah,
still
it's
was
still there.
the
It's still
first to
good.
do it.
But Adventure 2's,
I
like,
go ahead.
Adventure 2's Chow Garden, there's just so much to do. You literally take care of like basically this Tamagotchi thing, and then you can send it to races and karate. It got to the point where I was younger, and this is before like there were guides that told you how to make specific chows, and I made this like fish chow. I didn't know how that was possible. And then one of my brothers released it, and I fucking cried over it. I was pissed, dude. Like, I was that into it. But, I mean, with all the stuff, when you're 100% in the game, there's all these different missions to do. You have all the different levels. I like the treasure hunting and the mech levels in Adventure 2. So I like the whole game as a package. It's got good multiplayer. The modding is great on it. There's just so much to Adventure 2. And obviously, part of it's nostalgia, and I'm not going to say it's not. Because there's just so many games on my list that could beat Adventure 2. But to me, nothing beats it just based off nostalgia going
And let
into
me
it.
and this kind of goes back into like we have mentioned the Child Garden. Like these games had so much content in it. Another thing you know about our game. We like content in our games, not just like the main games, but it had other kind of like the Child Garden, the missions and stuff like that. Uh, Sonic Adventure 1, and we played it on the GameCube, so that's like the version we played. And I just I don't know. People always complain about like the X version and stuff, but I just never had any issues. Like it was, and until this day, it's never really any issues besides like certain graphical things. Yeah, but like the games play fine, uh, and they have extra content having the game your games as you unlocked everything. You had unlockables and stuff like that. You just had a bunch of content. I will say the reason why I have SA2 and SA1 is because I will say like I think on a gameplay front from what they were trying to do, besides Sonic, and even you can tell it's technicality because the spin dash was broken by accident, not by choice, right? You could say that every gameplay style improved significantly from SA1 to SA2. Because guess what? They had their own. Everyone had the same amount. Every gameplay style had the same amount of levels. Like they all have 10 levels. They all are more fleshed out. Like Knuckles' moveset is way more fleshed out than his one in SA1. His levels are better. Besides like one, and like Rude only has one bad level, but it's still fun to explore. And I think like there's like geniuses in level design that people don't talk about. I've noticed. I saw a video where it's about the way points getting are earned for Sonic Adventure 2 for like the A ranks, and they were like upset about the score being the thing because you have to like it's not about just speed. I think I like that because it's not just because like you can like do a bunch of stuff to get past those fast, but like you're not like you could you can break the game, get past the level fast, but like you're not actually like playing the level. And even though the levels in SA2 are like a lot of straight lines, they still have you doing stuff. It's like you're playing like it's like you're playing like a movie, like an action movie, with Sonic, because you're supposed to look stylish while doing it, right? And you can do that. That's the beauty of SA like two Sonic gameplay, because it's more stylish than just like pressing the spin dash over and over again in SA1 to do shit. So you could do that in SA2, and doing that, like for instance, Metal Harbor, you want to get to the top of the rocket ship, right? And while doing all this other stuff, not dying and doing light ring dashes here and there, doing that stuff like makes you feel stylish, and the more you play, the more that rhythm kind of kicks in, like the linear platformers stuff that kind of kicks in. You play Crash, you kind of see what I'm talking about. Uh, the treasure hunting levels, as much as people try to get on them, no one really talks about how like they're all divided into threes. Like almost every one of them are divided into three sections. And like, yes, the radar is better than SA1, and I think the SA1 radar should have been SA2. But at the same time, like in terms of how the map is, if you don't find it in one area, you can go to the other area and you'll find it in that other area most of the time, unless it's mad space. Even mad space follows that same philosophy where it's like three main sections, and that's how it's always. But no one talks about that when they talk about the gameplay. The mech levels, Tails has like the weaker levels, but like the mech levels in general are more fleshed out, and that's just the problem with compared to SA1, SA2. SA2 took some of the stuff that people like SA1, fleshed it out way more, gave us more content for that stuff, and then like that, and like in essence, that the gameplay styles are better in SA2 compared to SA1. But SA1 had like the hub world and stuff, and which you could explore, which made up for like the lacking of content with certain characters, because you had that hub world to explore. And it had like other collectibles and stuff in the Game Gear games, but SA2 had it's just back and forth. They have like advantages and disadvantages, but when you put them together, they make like the greatest package of all time. And the story, we haven't gotten the story. The story is just like amazing,
Yeah,
and there's
story's
still
really
more
good.
stuff we're fine. And it has like, it's not perfect. It has some plot holes. It's the I call it a cinematic. I call it a cinematic masterpiece for the themes. But like like if you look at like the plot holes and like how we get to certain things, yes, there can be some issues, but there are certain things that like it was inspired by. Like it took me till like a year ago to realize like, oh shit, like SA2's plot is really just charged counterattack, like some Gundam elements, but it does its own thing, so it's cool in that way. And like Shadow as a character, Chaos as a character, both are like some of the best characters in the series. Big is like the best character in the series, and he's in both games in
Shut
some way.
up.
Yes, he is. Shut up. I'm not gonna. I'm dead ass.
No.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's
Yep.
just
But nah, I
legendary.
mean, I think we could both say it's an amazing game. But I'm interested, Brian. Why is it number 7 for you? Because we skipped that
I
one.
like the video game, but it's not. I don't like it as much as others.
Oh, we
Yeah.
forgot the multiplayer. The multiplayer in SA2. That was
No,
another.
it's really good. I mean, you just go through levels and you do the different, like you can race with Sonic and Shadow, treasure hunt with the treasure hunting people, and then you can have like a third person shooter, like 1v1 basically with Tails and Eggman, which is really
We
cool.
spent hours. I remember we spent like 8 hours playing the multiplayer SA2.
Yeah.
Like one Saturday. Like it
But
was.
so Mitchell, you've played SA2 and it's not on your top 10. So what's your opinion of the game? I want to know.
Good game.
Yeah, is it just a good game?
Good game.
I like Mitchell because I can use Mitchell for arguments because he sucks at the game and he still likes it.
Good game. I
No,
mean,
it's just it's a game that you just discover more as you play. Like every time I do a playthrough of the game, I'm like I feel like I discover something new, and I feel like I have so much fun with it. And it's just to me, it'll never be beat purely based off the fact that this was one of the first games I played. I don't remember what the first game I ever played was, like video game, but Adventure 2 is definitely on that list. And purely it'll never lose because of that, but it's also just a good game to back it up. So, that's pretty much all I can say about that.
wow.
Yeah. Good list, though. I find it crazy. I think the best part about doing this is that our lists are pretty much all different besides a couple here and there. And I think that's just really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
like, hell, especially our top fives were pretty much all different besides Adventure 2 for Jay and I. I think everything else was different.
Pretty much, yeah. I think they were all different.
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
it's nice to have people with different takes. You don't want people just with the same. I don't know. You just don't. I feel like you have the same people liking the same stuff. It's just a bunch of yes men, but there's not that much variety. But we have like variety and different games, and it's all different genres and stuff.
Yeah, there's a
So,
variety of tastes and different opinions.
You can definitely tell that we all play different games, which is why we don't play games with each other that much, because we all play different shit.
Well, we
Yeah.
have games that we play. It's we have games that we can play with each other, like Mario Party. Like that was one we got
Yeah.
Mitchell on, which is and Left 4 Dead. It's just that we don't we used to have like these multiplayer streams. I want to bring them back, but the problem is everybody is like busy. We don't have we used to do Friday or Saturday. And then Friday everyone got busy on Friday, so we couldn't do it. And then everyone has like events and stuff. I still want to bring those back if y'all want to bring those back with like Left 4 Dead 2 or something. But like it's just you get older, you have the money, you have like the equipment, but you don't have the time. And that's like where it comes down to.
But no,
We can
I
only play
just,
certain stuff together though, because
Yeah.
it's like you said, different.
I just like
tastes
seeing the
and stuff.
different tastes, though. I mean, there were definitely some things I weren't even expecting to like be on here, so I think it was pretty cool. Especially like, well, Jay's list, he just made up his ass while he was going.
Well, I know
But,
I always know my top five. My top five is always there. It's just the bottom of it.
Yeah.
The other five is where I have to like
Yeah.
kind of swap out.
Like, I'd say Brian's list was very interesting. Seeing that was definitely something.
Mine goes all
forgot
over
Cage
the
too.
place.
What?
I fucking forgot Cage 2. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
see, I
Yo,
also
that's
forgot
crazy.
Kingdom Hearts, but if it was here, it'd probably be like number 10 at best. It wouldn't be that high for me.
It
But
would
I-
be like
have to make-
4.
I definitely did
I'd
forget
probably
Kingdom
move shit up.
Hearts. Wow,
Yeah,
Minecraft wouldn't be in your top 10 anymore. Mitchell.
I'd probably
No.
move So Silver out.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be
Yeah.
the one editing this video, so you can change that if you want.
Well, how the fuck would I edit out us talking about that, though? Please explain
You
that.
could probably just put like fucking Kingdom Hearts 2 when you talk about Minecraft and be like, this actually takes number 10, but just hear me out on Minecraft. I
I'm not
swear.
gonna record a
Swear,
new
please don't,
fucking
baby boy.
segment. Okay.
No,
That would-
like
that
I
would
was saying,
Alright,
put
that
like
would
some
take
text
some
on the
footage.
screen, not recording.
Alright. This shit went on for 2 hours.
Yeah,
Let's
we're,
wrap
we're,
this up.
we're at about 2.5
Yeah,
hours.
let's wrap it up.
This is
Let's
kinda
wrap it
All
up.
right, so
intense.
remember, guys, sponsored by
We
Subway
are
user
not
code staring at the
fucking-
ceiling on
no,
DoorDash for the
but
Spyro
no.
shit.
No.
We're
Teaming
not.
Spyro.
All right, but that was our top 10 games. Pretty good. This took 2
Waddle's not
fucking
over.
podcasts to do it.
Shut up,
Next
Noah.
one
Shut
will
up-
be a
not Noah, but
normal-
shut up, Mitchell.
Yeah, shut up, Noah. Yeah,
Alright.
shut the fuck up, Noah.
No.
Yeah,
Shut
Jay
the
told
fuck
Noah to
up.
shut the fuck up. Well, what the hell? Damn,
Probably-
that's crazy, Jay.
Probably going back to
Jace,
normal
Noah.
ones.
Juicy
Uh-huh.
Plum
Hell.
continued in the next podcast episode. Hook
Yeah.
line, hook for the next episode. Let's go, bro.
All
Now you
right.
gotta watch next episode.
Oh,
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll see y'all in the
Jesus
next one.
Christ.
Next episode's gonna be really fucking hype. All right.
Yep, check
Yeah.
out all the stuff. And we're trying to
Got a
to
lot
do
of stuff
the whole
going on.
thing.
Noah's gonna show his hole on camera.
Did not. Okay,
Oh,
no.
that's crazy.
I'm
No,
I'm
I'm
gonna end this
doing
before it
intro
gets too
for next
You
stupid.
episode.
call looking at Noah's hole? That's
All right,
crazy.
check out us. Check out all the stuff in the description, all that good stuff, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.
See you. Bye. Bye.